For a while, they were one of TikTok's favorite couples. On one side, you had OnlyJS, the science fact deadpan delivery creator who built an empire off Did You Know videos and, well, controversy.
Today's episode of What Are People Mad at Me For Now? Not checking my emails in a timely manner.
On the other hand, you had Maddie Westbrook, loud, chaotic, and widely embraced by the internet as a kind of non-binary comfort character. They dated for over 2 years, and then it imploded.
Months of lying about being cheated on, and then, once you were telling, hey, I did cheat on you, you still, were trying to be in my life, coming over. I remember I was on Hinge, and they're like, don't you think it's a little soon to be on Hinge? You cheated on me!
What started as what looked like your standard influencer breakup, vague posts, cryptic TikToks, mutual friends picking sides, quickly spiraled into something much darker. We're talking cheating allegations.
This is the 4-month anniversary of this roller coaster I've been on of being broken up with and not being told why. In that time, I eventually did learn the truth. I got cheated on.
Stalking claims.
Only reason I did not speak out about this issue sooner is because Bella, OnlyJS, is someone who in the past has physically showed up to the place that I live and has previously threatened my physical safety.
Accusations of verbal
In mind, we are experiencing in this what is clinically called reactive. And nothing I said in here was okay. Okay? Let's just get that off the table. But hey, at least the things that I were saying that wasn't okay was to another adult.
Public call-outs.
Let's get started. So Bella, OnlyJS, has gotten on the internet within the past couple weeks and made extremely severe accusations against me.
Even lawsuits. And then, because this is the internet and nothing is ever handled privately, a full 44-minute YouTube expose. And that's where things went from messy to nuclear. In that video, OnlyJS didn't just accuse Maddie of cheating with mutual friends. She made far more serious claims, including allegations of inappropriate behavior involving minors, and presented screenshots as evidence. Allegations that, if true, would completely shift how people see this situation. In the video, Bella claimed that Maddie has a drinking problem, has been talking to minors, and even providing them with alcohol. But here's the twist. A lot of people didn't immediately believe her.
I'm me, and my ex is my ex. The response so far has been, I don't believe you, which honestly, valid. I didn't believe it myself. It took a very long time for me to understand that this actually happened.
Why? Because OnlyJS comes with baggage, years of controversy, past scandals, a reputation that made the internet hesitate before taking her word at face value. So when she dropped explosive accusations, the response wasn't unified outrage. It was skepticism, confusion, and absolute chaos. Meanwhile, Maddie had built a very different public image. For many fans, they weren't just another influencer. They were the internet's favorite non-binary hero, which made the accusations hit even harder and made people even more divided.
But I want to know, I need physical proof of what she's saying about Maddie, because Maddie's my favorite little lesbian, right? And I need to know.
So what actually happened? Was this a toxic breakup blown out of proportion? Was it a calculated smear campaign? Were there red flags that everyone ignored? Or is the truth somewhere buried under 44 minutes of screenshots, reaction videos, and fan warfare? In this video, we're going to break down the entire timeline, from relationship to rupture, from cheating accusations to the most serious claims, and look at what was said, what was shown, what was denied, and why this drama became one of the messiest influencer breakups in recent memory. However, before we go into the recent drama, we'd like to introduce these two influencers in case you're not fully aware of who they are. So yeah, Maddie Westbrook is a social media creator who first rose to prominence on TikTok in 2020. Now Maddie is huge on TikTok with over 12 million followers. Born on September 2nd, 2000, Maddie's an American influencer who quickly built a massive following thanks to their energetic personality and highly relatable content. They began consistently posting around 2017 to 2018, right as TikTok was exploding in popularity, and managed to ride that wave at exactly the right time. Maddie initially gained attention through short-form comedy and POV-style videos. Their content often revolved around exaggerated facial expressions, chaotic humor, awkward situations, and very Gen Z coded storytelling.
All of this has happened to me in a singular hour of my life, all right? I have lower back pain and asthma, so I'm a walking elderly at 20 years old. So I go to CVS and I get a backpack because I've never gotten one before. Maybe it'll help. No, I put it on and it's just been violating me for the past hour. Apparently this is what icy hot feels like. No me gusta. And so then I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna go hang out with my friend. So I get to my friend's place and then I open the elevator. Well, I don't open it. It opens, right? And then the chihuahua barked at me and I tripped backwards because I was afraid of a chihuahua. And then I was like, I'm gonna make myself feel better. Yeah, I'm gonna go get Panda Express.
However, as their following grew into the millions, Maddie expanded onto other platforms like Instagram and YouTube. On YouTube, the content became more long-form and personal, including vlogs, Q&As, relationship updates, and deeper discussions about their life. Unlike the fast-paced comedic energy of TikTok, YouTube gave viewers a closer look into Maddie's personal world, which helped build a more loyal and invested fan base. Another major part of Maddie Westbrook's online identity isn't just their humor, it's their openness about who they are. Maddie's been openly non-binary and very transparent about their sexuality, something that, especially in the early days of TikTok's rise, wasn't as common among mainstream creators.
The number one question I get is, Maddie, how do I come out? But fun fact, I was outed every single time I figured out something new about my identity. So we're gonna do the Maddie's outed coming story. Wait, was the 9th grade. I found myself a little girlfriend. She smelled like vanilla. We held hands. Scandal. And then my brother saw us and went home and told my family. But then I went off to college and realized that I have these 2 small bread buns strapped to my chest forever. Do I like them? Do I not? And then I realized I don't have to be lady. I don't have to be man. I can be lady man. And so I start going by whatever. And then I get all silly and goofy and depressed. And then the university that I went to called my parents and said, Maddie's a little silly, goofy, and depressed. Also, Maddie goes by plural pronouns. And I said, oh, is that illegal? But if I were to ever come out, I don't think I'd come out at all. I think I'd just bring a lady home and let my parents figure it out. And that's what I'm gonna expect of my children. They're just gonna come home, bring someone, and that's it. But Maddie, I don't know if I'm fruity. If the person makes you feel like you want to vomit fireworks, you've got a little flick in your wrist, my friend.
You see, they didn't treat it like a marketing angle or a dramatic reveal. It was simply part of who they were, and that authenticity is what made people gravitate toward them. They spoke casually and confidently about their identity, relationships, and experiences in a way that felt natural rather than performative. For a lot of young viewers, especially queer audiences, Maddie became someone they could genuinely see themselves in.
Are you gender fluid or non-binary?
I usually just say non-binary. Like if I think to, I always compare like my gender to like gymnastics, because it's like, you know how like some gymnasts get a mental block and then they physically can't do a trick?
Yeah.
I feel like whenever I start to ponder over my like gender identity,
yeah.
I just can't.
Yeah.
Like if I think about it too hard, I just get way too confused and like way too overwhelmed, and then I just can't. So I just exist.
Yeah.
And then I usually just say like any pronouns are fine, and people are like, but what do you like really? And I'm like, I don't know.
Ha ha, funny story, shut the hell up! I don't know!
Sorry.
That's how it feels on the inside, but I'm not confrontational, so I'm like, it's really fine, like I really don't know, like it's okay.
I don't know what it is.
As a result, they quickly became one of the platform's favorite queer creators. Fans didn't just watch their videos for entertainment, they rooted for them, and they absolutely adored Maddie. I mean, just look at this fan edit of them.
Good morning.
Honestly, the love Maddie Westbrook receives is just wild. Their comment sections are full of people gushing over how cute, funny, and amazing they are. And even now, with serious accusations being thrown their way, a lot of people are still standing firmly in their support. You'll still see fans defending them, saying there's more to the story, or refusing to believe the worst. But then there's the flip side of the coin. Almost the complete opposite energy from Maddie Westbrook, and that's the enigma that is Only JS. For those of you who know Only JS, well, you know. The last time the internet really checked in on her, she was being canceled for what felt like everything at once, from resurfaced controversies to public backlash that led to losing major brand partnerships, including a deal with Netflix. There were apology videos, defensive posts, and at one point she even got intensely worked up over a TikTok ban that never fully happened.
There's gonna be 2 types of people watching this video right now. You're either gonna see my face and be like, ugh, and scroll, and that's fine. Goodbye. I'm sorry. Okay, I get it. Or you're gonna see my face and be like,
psychology girl? Life hacks? Like what? You look different since the last time I saw you 2 or 3 years ago. That's crazy. I know that I haven't always used this platform that you guys have given me the wisest. I've made a lot of interesting choices. I could have done a lot of things differently, and I think about it every single day, and I like to think that I've learned and grown from it. I don't know if this app is going to go dark or not. I just felt the need to say something and like a goodbye, I guess.
There was also a shift toward political commentary that did not really work, and videos of her at protests. And to top it all off, she was also making waves on passes. For those of you who don't know, it's a subscription-based creator platform, kind of similar to OnlyFans or Patreon, where influencers and public figures can monetize exclusive content. And Bella was charging $8 for premium content, 10 free chats, and $40 for unlimited DMs. All in all, when it comes to OnlyJS, there's just a lot of lore, and we mean a lot. We've actually covered her in detail in another video, so if you really want to go down that rabbit hole, you can check that out. But for the sake of this video and to give proper context to those who might not really know who she is, here's a brief recap. And trust us, we'll try to keep it as short as possible. So the year was 2019, and almost overnight, OnlyJS erupted onto TikTok.
A lot of you may be asking the same question as I am, and that's how did this happen? I don't know, but I can show you how it started. I downloaded TikTok in September of 2018 and just watched it for months. Posted my first video in March of 2019 and then kind of got addicted to the attention. Was nearing 10K around August of 2018, and that bio still holds true. I'm probably taller than you. I don't really know what I'm going for, but I guess I'm having fun? Like what? This is around the time I started bragging to people that I was famous on TikTok. Hit 100K in September of 2018. I don't know how, but I remember I bought Chipotle that day. This is around the time I got fired from Best Buy for making TikToks, and this is all still pre-psychology fact days, but I was still doing like fun facts in a mirror, so people called me the female vulgar Bill Nye the Science Guy. This is on October, a couple hours after I posted the first psychology tricks video. This was the next day. 2 million we got dark mode. 2.5 million I got verified. Finally changed my profile picture. Hit 5 million in March of 2020. Still didn't change the profile picture. I changed it. And then it disappeared. I don't get it, but thanks.
At a time when the app was still figuring itself out, half-dancing teens, half-chaotic memes, Isabella Avila, better known as OnlyJS, carved out a lane that felt different. She wasn't dancing. She wasn't lip-syncing. She was delivering rapid-fire psychological facts and life hacks in a blunt, monotone delivery that somehow made everything sound authoritative.
Seeing somebody that you're in love with their hair wet should make you more attracted to them. Convincing yourself that you slept well, even if you didn't, will actually trick your brain into thinking you did, and you'll feel better throughout your day. But the opposite is also true. If you go all day like, oh, I'm so tired, like, I didn't sleep that good, you're gonna feel horrible. Falling in love has the same neurological effect on the brain as getting high on cocaine.
People actually started calling her the female vulgar Bill Nye. She actually started posting in late 2018, but by mid-2019, she locked in. In just a few months, she went from a regular employee at Best Buy making videos in her work uniform to a full-blown viral creator. By September 2019, she had already crossed 100,000 followers. 2 weeks after getting fired from Best Buy, because coworkers found her account and reported it, she re-uploaded her content. And then, boom, 1 million followers in just weeks.
After work, just in my uniform, they found out about it. Told me to delete the videos or we're gonna fire you. So I deleted the videos and then they fired me.
They fired you anyway?
Yeah, they fired me anyway. And then I re-uploaded the videos and then like 2 weeks later I hit 1 million followers. So it ended up kind of working out.
So yeah, she really just erupted. And that kind of growth doesn't just boost your ego, it launches you into another stratosphere. Brands came calling. Netflix, Cassettify, Tinder. Her videos were stitched, reposted, and shared across Instagram and YouTube. She expanded onto YouTube with longer fact compilations. She positioned herself as this smart, quirky, slightly edgy internet genius. But here's the thing about building your brand on facts. If the facts aren't solid, the cracks show fast. As her popularity skyrocketed, people began asking simple questions. Where are these psychology degrees? Where are these sources? And that's when the first domino fell. One of the earliest major controversies involved a creator named Jonathan Moss. Only JS accused him of copying her video word for word. She called him out publicly, claiming plagiarism.
I just think it's really weird when other big creators think it's okay to copy my video word for word and act like you did.
Plot twist, he admitted it looked copied because they both pulled it from the same Google article. For the record, this is the original video that Only JS posted on her TikTok account.
Your birth month actually has a huge effect on who you are as a person and the things that could possibly happen to you. Like, a ton of research has gone into this. People born in January. Hi, you are statistically more likely to have Alzheimer's, Crohn's disease, and epilepsy. We're taking a huge turn with this one, but people born in February, you are more likely to become an artist. People born in March are way more likely to have asthma, and I can actually speak to this one because my little sister, the only one born in March, has asthma. Where are my fellow April babies at? Okay, we are way more likely to become alcoholics than everybody else.
It was a video about what birth months tell about a person psychologically. And this is the video that Jonathan Moss posted on his account.
Born in March are actually more likely to have asthma. And I can speak to that because my cousin, the only person born in March, has asthma.
Suddenly, the person accusing others of theft was being accused of doing the exact same thing, reading articles and repackaging them as original insights. And instead of quietly moving on, she doubled down. Reddit essays, defensive explanations, long posts about how she was doing the right thing. That became a pattern. Anytime there was criticism, she responded, and responded, and responded again. She didn't ignore the backlash. She wrestled with it publicly. Then came the misinformation arc. Her psychological tricks slowly morphed into science claims, medical advice, and questionable illegal life hacks. We may just have a look at these.
Go into a hotel and tell them that you left your phone charger there. They'll pull out a giant box of chargers and you just get to pick one for free. You can get your letters delivered for free without any postage if you just put where you want it to go on the return address instead of where it's actually supposed to be. Most movie theaters have their bathrooms after or near the ticket check. So if you go and watch a movie, when you're leaving, just go take a check out new movie times and then go to another movie. You can do this a couple times before you get caught. Completely disappear from society. And if you're over 18, this is perfectly legal to do, but pretty unethical. You're gonna start off by completely ghosting all of your family and friends for about 2 to 3 months before reaching back out again. And the trick is you have to do this multiple times, like 5, 6, 7 times. That way, by the time you actually do go and disappear, they're not immediately worried about it. They're used to this kind of thing. You're also gonna wanna start slowly selling off all of your stuff. And the key word here is slowly, because if you do it too quickly, people kind of get sus about that sort of thing. And you're also gonna wanna pay off all of your debt. All of it. It's going to ensure that no debt collectors come looking for you or calling the police to try and get their money back. And in all of this time, you're going to want to teach yourself some survival skills, okay? In cash, you're going to want to buy a hunting, camping, and farming gear because you're going to have to go off the grid, somewhere remote, completely isolated, and you're going to have to fend for yourself for the rest of your life.
In addition to this, experts also started reacting. Food scientists, medical creators, and psychologists all started calling out inaccuracies. Some of the videos were just poorly researched. Others were flat out dangerous.
Ways that the
Oh God, here we go
food
again.
is poisoning us all. Wood chips in your food. They disguise it as cellulose.
I'm so annoyed that this creator is spreading this nonsense. This person has 17.5 million followers.
Do I seriously need to be explaining to people at this point in the timeline that only JS shouldn't be giving anybody free therapy, talking about psychology, period, or sharing any of the other kind of fake facts?
And yet she kept posting. Then things escalated from questionable to offensive. One of her most infamous uploads was a video joking about how to steal from disabled people with service dogs. It was framed as part of her illegal life advice series, but audiences weren't laughing. Disabled creators called it blatant ableism.
approaches you, but they're alone, that means that their owner is in trouble and they probably can't move. So you should follow him because you'll get a free wallet.
Why do able-bodied people think they can make jokes at disabled people's expense? Especially because I know you think that's a joke, but there's people who will take that seriously and actually do that to a disabled person.
And this wasn't happening in isolation, because in early 2021, the real bomb dropped. Leaked text messages surfaced from years prior, screenshots of Isabella using racial slurs and homophobic language in an argument. In these messages, she used the N-word with hard and everything. She wrote, "Yes, you are right. The abortion didn't work, which is why my parents don't like me and why I've been in foster care the past 2 years. So congrats on that. Go F yourself, you piece of shit. I honestly hope your parents get cancer. I hope everyone you love dies. I'm done talking to you." The messages were aggressive, ugly, and impossible to ignore. At first, she denied they were real, claimed Photoshop, fake edits. But the receipts didn't disappear. Eventually, she posted an apology video. In it, she confirmed the texts were real. She admitted she had intentionally tried to say the meanest things possible. She promised to uplift Black creators, share her platform, educate herself.
In my past, I said disgusting things to people, and I am so ashamed of myself for using racist rhetoric and derogatory language to hurt others, because I knew what that word meant, and I understood the power behind it, but I said it anyway because it was the meanest thing that I could think of, and I am so sorry to everyone, but especially to those in the Black community, because only you guys can forgive me for this, and there is no excuse, and there are no justifications for what I said, and you guys deserve better. And when I first saw the screenshots, I didn't even think that they were real because I forgot how hateful and how angry of a person I used to be, and it hurts my soul knowing that I said those things. But the screenshots and the things I've said in my past are not a reflection of who I am today. And I am so grateful for the people in my life that I met after high school, in college, at my previous jobs, and on TikTok who took their time to educate me on their experiences. Because listening to them was so powerful and a real reality check for me. So I want to take this time to take a step back and share my platform with some amazing Black creators who are going to tell their story to try and educate others on the trauma that happens when we use this kind of language. I know that my words hurt people, and I know that my words have consequences, and that there is no immediate fix for my actions, but I am so deeply sorry for all the pain that I've caused.
But the apology didn't land. Many felt the tears were performative. Others said it felt scripted. And then came another twist. A creator later claimed he had ghostwritten that apology for her.
Hi. I've already talked about it once before on my channel, but immediately after they confirmed it was true with me over text message, I then tried to help them to the best of my ability while still being extremely angry and frustrated. Helped with a good bit of the apology, especially the part about Black creatives. When we were both talking about that part in the apology, I really did think that they would hold up their end of the bargain, you know? And even if it's not the case, I definitely do feel like I was like a little bit used. Even though I was friends with them before this even happened, it just seemed like they were in a rough spot. They needed a Black person to talk to. I was one of the only people, and Sean as well, able to talk to them and still show kindness and love to them. And up to this day, it just seems like that end of the bargain just hasn't been held. And I just feel really bad.
Whether fully accurate or not, the damage was done. The apology that was supposed to close the chapter only deepened the distrust. That's when the petition started. A Change.org petition calling for OnlyJS to be banned from TikTok began circulating. It accused her of racism, ableism, plagiarism, and failing to follow through on her promises to collaborate with creators of color. The signatures climbed into the hundreds of thousands. Meanwhile, she had just landed a hosting spot on a Netflix digital series, a huge opportunity, a career reset moment.
And tell myself to start TikTok sooner, so I'd be bigger. So today I'm going to be talking to Jake from Vsauce about time travel.
But controversy doesn't pause for brand deals. As backlash intensified, brands distanced themselves, sponsorships dried up, the Netflix partnership quietly disappeared. And instead of stepping back and recalibrating, she leaned in. She started reacting to hate videos, mocking thumbnails, making jokes about being TikTok's most hated creator. She deleted apologies, blocked critics, posted birthday celebrations mid-cancellation.
Rate some of the thumbnails that people have used to make their YouTube videos about me. This is the one that SunnyV2 made, pretty straightforward, ban only JS, but they did animate my face. I don't necessarily like all the detail they put into it, but 7 out of 10. Okay, this was actually taken before that, so 4 to 10. 1 out of 10. What the did they do to my face? This is what the original picture looked like, and 8 out of 10. I like the big arrow. Okay, so Moist Critical just reacted to the SunnyV2 video. That's why it kind of just looks like a copycat. But I don't know why the Hogwarts thing is right there. 5 out of 10. The Sans makes it look like the video is about me growing a beard, so 6 out of 10. This one weirds me out because they edited my chin in a way that's not my chin. I've also never said I am over, so 2 out of 10. This is a 9 out of 10. I like the censored middle fingers. Joke's on them though. I used them using my face to make my own thumb.
It felt like she had decided, if I'm going to be the villain, I'll play the villain. At some point, the narrative shifted from problematic creator to train wreck you can't look away from. Every few months, there was something new. Plagiarism accusations from other creators, defensive Reddit essays, messy back and forths. The common thread, she never stopped engaging.
Right? There was a petition on change.org that had like 400,000 signatures to get you booted off TikTok.
Yeah.
Right? But then you... Wait, 400?
To be fair though, I promoted it. I promoted it.
You promoted it though?
On one of my spam accounts, it had like 30,000 signatures, and I was like, oh no, 30,000 versus my, I think like 13 million at the time. I was like, TikTok's totally gonna listen to this.
Yeah.
And then everybody started signing it, and I thought it was funny. Like, I understood the complaints that were coming from it, but the idea that TikTok was gonna listen to a petition and actually take me down over it, it was weird.
Yeah.
It was made by somebody. It was made by somebody that's been making videos about me for almost like a year and a half.
And that's what made her cancellation different. As we mentioned earlier, she did try to branch out into other areas like political commentary, but it didn't gain much traction. We mean her last video about Alex Preddy's shooting accident only gained 3,500 views, which is significantly less than the video about Maddie. So yeah, she quickly lost the following she had built, and at that point became one of the most criticized TikTok creators to date. On top of that, her dishonesty about donations and her failure to follow through on promised collaborations with Black creators added another layer of hypocrisy.
So this message is for you only, JS, and honestly, hopefully they don't take this down for harassment or bullying because Auntie always has receipts. Now, you become a mutual of mine after your whole N-word debacle, said you want to collaborate with me. We email, and suddenly you've dropped off the face of the earth. So, are Black people just tokens for you to use when you're ready to play? Because I can tell you one thing. If you were really truly sorry about what you said, you would not have lied and said you were going to do something you clearly aren't trying to do. What bothers me the most? I really gave you an opportunity. I really said, you know what, Aunt Karen? Let's see what she has to say. Let's see how we can mutually help each other. Instead, you're clearly not trying to do any of that. So why not just be racist? Just say you're racist.
This was a video uploaded by a creator named Aunt Karen, who repeatedly tried to reach Bella after she said that she would be collaborating with Black creators. And yes, she definitely did not do what she said she would. But the bigger question we want to ask today is, how long are we going to hold Bella accountable for the things she said in high school? How long will she continue to be labeled as one of the worst people on the internet? We mean some of her recent interactions online seem unnecessary, like the comment someone left on her TikTok asking, how is she still alive? Now, we're not saying everything she's done is right, but comments like that are unnecessarily cruel, especially when Bella has openly admitted to considering ending her life because of the hate she receives. She actually responded to this particular comment, and oh boy, the response was scary. But before we show you this clip, a quick warning. It contains disturbing and graphic mentions of suicide from the creator. If you're sensitive to such topics, you may want to skip ahead a few seconds.
I can handle a lot. You don't get to be only Jay is still posting online without being able to handle a lot, but like, you can make fun of me. You could say I've fallen off. You could say all the horrible things that I've said back at me. You could keep making up rumors about me. You could keep doxing my address, I guess. You could do any, you can block me, I don't care. Please, stop. I can't keep opening comment sections and just reading how people are surprised I haven't committed yet. I'm gonna share something that I haven't talked about online because it's embarrassing and I don't like talking about it. When I got canceled, I was told not to post anything, don't say anything, let it blow over. And I didn't do that. I decided to make an apology video even though everybody told me not to. I felt bad, so I apologized, knowing full well that I didn't deserve anybody's forgiveness and that I definitely deserved to have to have that backlash and all the privileges that I was getting to be taken away. I understood that. But the reaction that I got was like this, but just like tenfold. And I decided that I had to drive my gun to my dad because I didn't trust it in my house anymore because I was just obsessively reading what everybody was saying, and I couldn't stop responding either, and I wasn't sleeping, and I just kept responding, and I found myself in my shower with my gun to my head, thinking, this will be the easiest way for it to get cleaned up. I look at other creators, the creators who have committed because of how being online affected their head. I look at how the world reacts to creators that do. And that also scares me that, like, oh, I can't. Okay, point made. I don't think I've killed myself yet because of spite, though. I think that's it. I don't want the memes, man. I can't do it.
So yeah, she is definitely not okay. Yes, she's sometimes used explanations like her ADHD to justify not responding to emails or following through with collaborations, but still it's clear she has never fully had the mental capacity to handle the pressures of the internet. So the real question is, does she truly deserve the level of backlash she continues to get? And that brings us to the main focus of this video, the entire story between her and Maddie Westbrook so far. From what we know, Maddie and Only Jaya started dating in 2021. It all began when Bella posted a story calling Maddie her crush, and almost immediately people started questioning whether they were actually together. Not long after, they confirmed that they were officially dating. What followed was exactly what you'd expect from two influencers in a relationship. Soft launches, hard launches, couple content, pranks, cute videos, and constant appearances on each other's pages. And honestly, looking back at some of their old content now, it's a little depressing. They genuinely seemed in love. That is, until they broke up in November 2022. At first, there wasn't much information about why the breakup happened. Maddie simply said it was due to infidelity, and naturally a lot of people immediately assumed it was Bella who cheated. And let's be honest, given her past controversies, it was easier for the internet to believe she was the one who messed things up. Maddie never said that she was the one who cheated, but he definitely implied it. That wasn't the full story. A short while after the breakup, Bella uploaded this TikTok on her page where she said that she got cheated on and it kinda blew up.
What happened to us? We used to be best friends.
In the caption she wrote, "Maddie broke up with me out of nowhere. Didn't give me a reason. I pleaded for answers for over a month. I finally learned the truth, and that several friends knew about it, chose Maddie, and left me in the dark to spiral for all the wrong reasons." And that was just the beginning of it all. In February of 2023, Bella uploaded another TikTok that added fuel to the fire. She didn't directly name Maddie, but she gave enough context for people to connect the dots. In the video, she claimed that she had been cheated on and that several of their mutual friends knew what was happening but chose not to tell her.
Today is the 4-month anniversary of this roller coaster I've been on of being broken up with and not being told why. In that time, I eventually did learn the truth. I I got cheated on. Way too many friends knew about this and chose to leave me in the dark over it, and processing that along with the end of my relationship has been weird. So I made a video on my spam yesterday. This is my life, but it kind of blew up a little bit. But because I'm me and my ex is my ex, the response so far has been, I don't believe you, which honestly, valid. I didn't believe it myself. It took a very long time for me to understand that this actually happened. But in the time of getting broken up with and learning why I got broken up with, they posted a lot of very cryptic videos where they admit it before they ever admitted it, you know? And people started pointing that out after I posted my video, and they deleted them. But I saved them, along with a few other videos from our relationship, which looking back now are ironic as f. Before I go and share this though, I just want to say, do not go and send hate to anybody. No internet dogpiling. It's not fair. This whole situation isn't fair, but like, I've been through that, and it's a nightmare that I would not wish on anybody, especially somebody that in a very up way I still love and care about. Just don't do it, okay? I just can't keep reading the rumors that I'm the one that this up, because and to everybody that is already saying that I deserve to be cheated on because of the controversy that surrounds me, just know that you sound like somebody that would also go and shatter somebody else's sense of safety, trust, and love, okay? We should all strive to do better.
No! I'm not me. I'm someone else. But what would you do if I was like some stranger at a bar and was like, hey? Running? That was good. You just Mario sprint across the whole bar. What wait though? I have a boyfriend. What would you do if I wasn't me? If you weren't you? Well, no, because I have a girlfriend at home.
That one hurt just a little extra to rewatch because they did indeed have a girlfriend at home and still chose to go to another girl's hotel room and cheat on me. I think I'm gonna be single on purpose forever because I never want to do this shit again.
And that's when things really started to shift. At that point, people actually started believing that it might not have been Bella who cheated, it might have been Maddie. On top of that, the video Maddie Westbrook uploaded addressing the accusations was interesting, to say the least. Instead of directly denying anything, they said they had privately owned up to things that may or may not have done, and that the relationship had been toxic on both ends.
I'm trying to crochet this bunny that's turned out to look like a piece of binder paper, when I really had no idea why I was still getting so many comments about my past relationship. And it's because I had no idea y'all were that invested. And I really want to come on here and share my side of the story, but that will only lead to more hurt, and that will only lead to more questions, and that will not lead to healing on either party's side, because we both made mistakes. It was a very toxic and abusive relationship on both ends. And the things that I put Bella through, I owned up to privately many, many, many months ago. And so seeing all of this resurface is just kind of interesting, and it just kind of puts me in this weird mental state where I'm not sure how to go about it. But I am bettering myself. I'm very sober, I'm very single, and I'm finding my peace. And I hope that Bella finds peace. And I hope that...
But the response felt vague. It didn't clearly confirm or deny anything. It didn't directly address the cheating accusations. It was more of a general statement about toxicity and accountability without actually specifying what that meant. And when someone responds to cheating allegations in such an indirect way, the internet tends to read between the lines. For many viewers, that kind of response felt almost like an admission, or at the very least, not a denial. At that point, there was little to no doubt in a lot of people's minds about who had cheated. But it still wasn't something that completely exploded the way it is now. For a while, things actually died down. There were a few vague, cryptic TikToks, maybe some subtle digs here and there, but overall it seemed like both of them had moved on. After the breakup with Maddie, Bella started dating Brittany Lee DiArdo, which, by the way, is a whole story on its own, which we'll get into that shortly. However, their relationship began after the Maddie situation, and they were even seen together at events. From the outside, at least, they looked happy. On the other hand, Maddie also began dating Amara Cordova, and again, that situation is also an entirely different storyline. It honestly feels like both of them tried to move on in the worst possible way. But if we're being honest, Maddie's situation seemed messier. However, we're going to talk about Bella's situation first. In September 2024, Britney filed for a restraining order against Bella, claiming that Bella had harassed her using her larger social media platform and had also verbally abused her. That alone was enough to get people talking again. However, the restraining order was later dismissed because Britney did not show up in court. This was reported by TMZ. The article from TMZ read, "Docs obtained by TMZ show the petitioner, Isabella's ex Britney, failed to appear for the restraining order hearing, and the case is dismissed without prejudice for lack of prosecution." Bella told TMZ at the time that Britney's request was filled with falsehoods and things taken out of context. So according to Bella, it was exaggerated. According to Britney, it was harassment. According to the court, no show, case closed, at least for now. Now, on the other hand, let's talk about Maddie. Because while Bella's situation was messy, Maddie Westbrook seemed to be dating someone significantly younger. And yes, we're going to break this down in way more detail once we get to Bella's recent YouTube video. But for now, let's just lay out the timeline. Amara Cordova was born on February 20th, 2005. Maddie was born in September 2000. That's a 5-year age gap. When they publicly started dating around 2023, Amara would have been 17 at most, possibly freshly 18, while Maddie was probably 22 to 23. So yeah, that was very problematic. And here's where it gets even messier. According to Bella, Maddie and Amara had met while Bella and Maddie were still together. Bella claims Amara was underage at the time, and that she remembers Maddie repeatedly calling her beautiful.
I remember them saying that Amara was like really pretty, and my first thought was she's like really young. And she has a boyfriend.
So yeah, on top of that, there have been rumors floating around that Maddie allegedly began talking to Amara in 2022, right after the breakup with Bella, when Amara may have still been under 17. Now, these are allegations and timeline speculations, but once people start mapping birthdays and breakup dates, you already know how the internet gets. Regardless, Maddie and Amara posted plenty of cute coupley content. They even teased marriage in a few videos. They looked serious, committed, and happy. Until they weren't. Toward the end of 2025, around Thanksgiving, from what people noticed, they stopped appearing in each other's content. Fans picked up on it immediately because, of course, they did. After being asked about it repeatedly, Maddie and Amara confirmed they had broken up in January of 2026. They said it was normal. They were still friends. Just a mutual split. The story Maddie posted to Instagram read, "Amara and I have decided to move forward as only friends. There is absolutely no bad blood, and we appreciate all of the support everyone has shown us over the past couple of years." But by that point, people were already deep diving into timelines, calculating ages, and questioning when exactly the relationship started. Was everything above board? Or was there overlap? Was there early communication? Was anyone underage at the time? And all of this was later addressed in a string of accusations Bella released on her page in early 2026, because that's where things stop being messy and start being explosive. And that brings us to the final chapter, the part that answers most of the questions about what is actually happening between Bella and Maddie right now. Who were the other girls Maddie was allegedly talking to? Who did they actually cheat with? And how deep does this timeline really go? Now, before we get into this, here's a disclaimer. From this point on, the timeline gets insanely messy. Before everything blew up the way it has now, Only Jace took the situation straight to TikTok and started posting a series of videos. And when we say messy back and forth, we mean messy. Between Bella's TikToks, Maddie Westbrook's responses, and then the final bomb, Bella's YouTube expose, followed by Maddie's 13-minute response, a lot happened. Names started getting dragged in. Olivia Ponton was mentioned. An underage creator named Nora Dabash was brought up. Friends like Nicholas, who by the way already had his own history of allegedly messaging minors, were suddenly part of the narrative too. So yeah, buckle up. Now let's start at the beginning. This whole new chapter kicked off with, of course, a TikTok from Bella. It was a rapid-fire, addressing the lies about me type of video. She went down the list of accusations people constantly throw at her, that she's racist, that she cheated on her ex Maddie, and more. She responded to everything. Even the Britney situation. Bella claimed Britney filed a restraining order for TMZ money and later showed up at her doorstep with an apology letter, begging to get back together.
Well, don't you have a domestic violence charge and a restraining order on you? No! We went to court and I won because it was she lied for TMZ money. And then when I started dating somebody new, she came to my door with a 9-page letter begging for me back. Well, don't you support Kill All?
I mean, this is so random. But the real bombshell wasn't that. Bella also addressed the cheating allegations and claimed that she was not the one who cheated. According to her, it was Maddie, and not just that, but allegedly with a minor.
Let's rapid fire all the lies that get spread about me. Aren't you racist? No. I did say slurs as a teenager though, which was racist and homophobic and probably a bunch of other things, but you know what? A lot can change about a person in 11 years. Didn't you cheat on your ex-girlfriend? No, I got cheated on with a minor and y'all still support.
And you can imagine what happened next. People were confused, shocked, in disbelief. Bella's comment section was flooded with people questioning the claim, asking for proof and demanding timelines. Because accusing someone of cheating is one thing. Accusing them of cheating with a minor, that's career-ending territory. So Maddie finally had to respond. And when they did, it didn't calm things down. Maddie responded to this accusation saying, "There is no evidence because it's not true. I am not going to feed into the lies and give them more fuel to spread lies about me." Well, if anything, it made people push Bella even harder for proof. The internet wanted receipts, they wanted screenshots, they wanted dates, they wanted clarity on whether what Bella was saying about their favorite queer influencer was actually true. But here's the part no one expected. Bella actually delivered. This time she came with receipts. So in this video, Bella showed a photo of a girl who was allegedly 17 years old kissing Maddie Westbrook. According to Bella, the video was originally posted in 2021 on one of Maddie's secondary accounts, and she claimed the incident happened at the apartment Maddie shared with Nick at the time. Bella also brought up Amara again, alleging that Maddie first met her while Bella and Maddie were still dating, and that Amara was only 15 years old at the time. On top of that, Bella added another serious claim. She said Maddie admitted to cheating on her while high and then allegedly threatened to, well, kill themselves afterward. So as you can imagine, things quickly escalated from messy to extremely serious. And it didn't stop there. The girl in question actually commented under the video, claiming that Maddie had been texting her when she was 17 and that Maddie knew her age. Her current username is now Dylan, but we're pretty sure it used to be Noor from the screenshots Bella showed in her video, so we don't know what's happening there. But it still wasn't over. Bella then posted another TikTok where she dropped yet another screenshot, this time allegedly showing Maddie talking to a 17-year-old. In that video, she heavily hinted that a full YouTube expose was coming, promising even more proof. And honestly, she built the momentum perfectly.
Drop the receipts, JS. I'm working on it. I don't think I could put all this on TikTok. I'm making it into a YouTube video. A little bit more effort than a TikTok. There's a lot. There's more than I expected. I didn't realize that it was gonna... I thought I was gonna say my piece and that'd be it. I didn't expect girls to reach out with their own stories. And then I was like, do I go to the cops with this? Do I make videos about this? This feels wrong. Like, what are we doing? But I'm not the victim, so it's not for me. But I got the platform. I'll share it. I can't share everything with TikTok just because this app is weird, so we're gonna move it. But I can give you something because there still seems to be people that don't believe me. This is a 2020. Maddie is 20 years old here. This person that they're talking to is 17. But hey, don't worry. It's all good. I'm not that much older. We can hop on a FaceTime later. And we got more. So stay put. I'm gonna keep making my normal content because my life has to continue. I still go to school. Like, I didn't expect to be put. I put myself in this by talking about it, but like, I didn't expect this. I'm genuinely stressed out by all this. I appreciate the support, but like, oh my God.
She continued posting multiple TikToks, adding bits and pieces of information each time. But if we sat here and broke down every single one of those videos, you'd probably be here way longer than you planned. So instead, we're gonna jump straight to the main event, the YouTube video. Now, the YouTube video officially dropped on February 18th, but interestingly, the day before, on February 17th, Maddie uploaded a video addressing some of the allegations. And we want to go in somewhat of a chronological order here.
So I want to start this off by saying that I never wanted to give any attention to the blatant lies that are being told about me right now, but I really cannot stay quiet any longer about the serious accusations that are being made against me. Thank you so much to absolutely everybody who waited for my response before coming to any conclusions about these accusations. The only reason I did not speak out about this issue sooner is because Bella, only Jayas, is someone who in the past has physically showed up to the place that I live and has previously threatened my physical safety. So yes, in 2021, I was in a toxic relationship with somebody that I did not know how to communicate with. So while I was at an extremely low point in my life in November of 2022, I kissed somebody else. But it was not the person from this screenshot, it was not Amara, and it was absolutely not anyone underage. I did eventually end up telling Bella what happened, when it happened, and who it was with. However, the lies that this person is currently spreading about me and my character are absolutely disgusting. They said that in this screenshot, I was 21 having a relationship with somebody who was 17. Me and the person in this screenshot have never had a physically intimate relationship before or after she turned 18. In fact, since nothing happened between us, I thought we were on good terms, considering she reached out to me in 2023 just to check in and see how I was doing. I have reached out to her to let her know that it did sting that she would instigate complete lies about me on the internet, but she never responded. Bella also claimed that in this screenshot, I was 21, providing alcohol to underage people. I was not 21 in this screenshot, I was 20. This is me at 20, this is me at 21. I also have no idea why Bella is lying that I met Amara when she was 15 years old. This never happened. I also never cheated on Bella with Amara, especially not when she was 17. The proof that they have is from a screenshot of me in a red hoodie from December of 2022, and a screenshot of Amara in her own red hoodie from March of 2023, which is over a month after Bella and I went complete no contact, and when Amara was already 18. This was also not my hoodie. We both owned the same Brandy Melville hoodie, and since I feel the need to clarify, Amara and I started dating on August 6th, 2023, and we hard launched on April 12th, 2024. Amara and I are also both very confused why people would try and tell us when we started dating. Now to address.
So in this response, Maddie denied everything. They stated that they never engaged in anything inappropriate with anyone underage and that Bella's claims were completely false. On top of that, Maddie also made some serious counterclaims against Bella, shifting the narrative and making it clear that this was no longer just one-sided accusations. It was turning into a full-blown public war. For instance, in this screenshot, you can see Bella saying, "If you don't call me back, I'm gonna show up. Then I could always just show up again." Then there are these screenshots where Bella is saying, "You better hope you never see my face again, Maddie, because I swear you haven't seen crazy yet. Die. If you see me at Coachella, run. We know you're good at that." Then there's this conversation between Noor, the girl Bella showed Maddie kissing, and who claimed that Maddie texted her when she was 17. And then Maddie showed a screenshot where he approached Noor, asking her why she was spreading misinformation about her, which she didn't respond to. Now finally getting to the YouTube expose, the video that really escalated everything. In that video, Bella claimed that multiple minors had reached out to her privately and shared screenshots of their conversations with Maddie. According to Bella, these individuals allegedly had Maddie's real phone number, which she said helped her verify that the messages were legitimate and not fabricated.
Before posting. And you know what? I even asked the multiple girls that have reached out if I should do this, and they have asked me to. They have sent me proof to talk about it, not just rumors, not just vague stories, actual screenshots, actual timelines with like the similar experiences. But Jayas, how do you know that any of this is real? Like anybody could just type some stuff into a phone and then change the name at the top. Like how do you know? Because I asked them like, hey, do you have the phone number? Like what is it? And it matched Maddie's exact number. And I legally can't leak it. What can I do? Like put the last 4 numbers there maybe? I don't think it's their phone number anymore.
She then revisited the cheating situation, stating that Maddie had actually confessed to cheating during their relationship. Now, the person Maddie allegedly cheated with was rumored to be Olivia Ponton, who is reportedly a mutual friend. Maddie either went to Olivia's hotel room or met her at a hotel, something like that. Although Bella did not go into deep detail about Olivia in the YouTube video itself, a separate TikTok we found online showed a screenshot of a comment Bella allegedly left under Olivia's post, calling her a home wrecker.
Hello everyone, so here's another update that I saw recently. It was this
video, and it has the comment in the photo, if you can zoom in. It's Bella commenting on Olivia Pontins. I don't know how to say her name. And I think that probably is who the homewrecker is Olivia. And I had no clue. I followed Olivia for a while, and I had no clue it was her, or at least allegedly that it's her. So that's my update. Thank you, everyone. If you know more, let me know.
Bella also claimed that Maddie tried to justify the cheating by blaming their depression, their parents' divorce, and even the stress of meeting Joe Biden.
Named Olivia Ponton. With that one, they blamed alcohol, they blamed depression, they blamed my parents' divorce, and they blamed the stress of meeting Joe Biden. I wish I was making that up.
Yes, that was allegedly part of the explanation. Honestly, going through all of this is exhausting because the information feels so scattered and random at times. Every few minutes, there's a new detail, a new claim, a new screenshot. However, one of the most important recurring topics Bella brought up in the video was Amara's age. That has been a central issue throughout this entire situation. After Maddie posted their response video and clarified that they only started dating Amara when she was over 18, that did clear up part of the timeline. But it didn't fully answer the biggest question people were asking. Was there any overlap? Bella said she believes Amara when she says she was 18 when they officially started dating. However, Bella also claims she believes there was still some kind of overlap. According to Bella, during the period when she and Maddie were not speaking, Maddie and Amara were allegedly already very close, going to concerts together, acting like best friends. She also claimed that Maddie has since deleted that video of them at a concert together.
If Amara says that she was 18, then Amara was 18. I'm not going to rewrite her experience, but I think the context matters because it exists. I did originally say that we met Amara when she was 15, and you're going to have to forgive me for that because the math is wrong. She was 16. My guess is Maddie did wait until this teenage girl turned 18 to start dating them. A 23-year-old waited for a 17-year-old to turn 18 because they're not stupid, they're just creepy, okay? And I don't know the details of their relationship, I'm not gonna act like I do, but there was definitely some social overlap happening because in November of 2022, Amara went to a concert with Maddie. I'm sitting in my room right now editing this video, literally as I'm like talking about stuff, going and finding the receipts because what else am I supposed to do? And I'm feeling so insane because the other day I find a video of them all at a concert and now it's gone. Wondering what Maddie was doing in those days of silence, deleting evidence.
And honestly, that part seems somewhat believable because people have noticed that certain older content does appear to be missing from Maddie's account. But regardless of that, let's move on to the Noor situation because that's where some of the more serious receipts come into play. Now, according to Bella, the girls she was referring to, the ones she claims or provided alcohol, all lived in the same apartment complex where Maddie, Nick, and Scott were living at the time. She alleged that both Maddie and Nick were involved with these underage girls in some capacity.
I was 22. Noor was living in the same building complex as Maddie, Nick, and Scott. Maddie and Nick were very much a part of this. Scott, not so much. He was kind of always on his own or out of the house, so not him. Carter was actually there while they were all drinking, but he was also extremely young.
Bella also said that she herself was not allowed to be at that apartment because Nick did not want her there. To support this, she showed a screenshot of a conversation between her and Nick where she appeared to confront him about the situation.
These two adults, Nick and Maddie, would provide alcohol to these TikTok teenagers in the building. I stopped going to the apartment, one, because I didn't with Nick, and two, because Nick didn't with me. I wasn't allowed at his place. So I didn't go. I wasn't involved. And you know what? I, at the time, just thought that it was Nick that had this drinking problem. It was later that I realized that Maddie had it too.
One of the girls Nick was allegedly involved with was Noor. According to Bella, Noor eventually went public with her claims. But at the time, very few people believed her. Bella further alleged that Maddie tried to protect Nick when those accusations first surfaced.
They were using teenagers to make me jealous or something? I really don't know. But when Noor went public about what Nick did, Maddie was very upset with Noor. They were very upset for their best friend. They were confused. Why is she just speaking up now? Why is she causing drama on the internet? And the internet didn't believe her because Nick went and posted a video with his own explanation. But it was at the point where it was like, Nick, like, you gotta leave LA. Like, you're canceled. You gotta get out. And so Maddie drove him to the airport because that was his friend, their friend. I'm bad with pronouns, you guys. I'm so sorry. Everybody still says that Nora lied, and she didn't.
Now, if you guys don't already know the deal about Nicholas Ray, let's just say it was messy. Back in 2021, Nora actually accused Nick of raping her. However, people didn't really believe her, and Nick completely denied that it happened.
A second girl named Liz came forward and claimed that I had assaulted her in June of 2020 and then provided proof in the form of pictures of bruises that she said I had given to her. She said that these pictures were dated July 2nd and were from a few days before that, so they were from the end of June. Those allegations are completely false. I did not even meet Liz until July 8th, about a week after she claimed, which means that proof is completely fake.
This is something that was brought up multiple times in Bella's video, but was never fully addressed by Maddie or Nick. And we'll get into this part later on in the video. In addition, screenshots were shown in which Nora allegedly claimed that Maddie had told her they couldn't wait to take her on a second date once she turned 18. There were also text messages shared in which Nora claimed that Maddie told her that their relationship with Bella was only a PR relationship. Apparently, there were several screenshots shared where Nora claimed that she was frequently drunk while at their apartment, accompanied by some videos allegedly showing Maddie Westbrook being very physically close and intimate with her.
On so many old texts, I'm so scared. Mind you, I was always drunk at their apartment, and then she sent me some of these old videos where she is drunk at the apartment. And Maddie claims that they weren't physical. Oh, but these look really they just look so physical. They just look so physical with me. This isn't something that I would do as a 20-year-old to a 17-year-old, but hey, whatever, okay.
After that, Bella shared a whole series of screenshots from multiple girls who had reached out to her, showing their interactions with Maddie. One of the screenshots, dating back to 2020, shows a conversation where the girl was planning to meet over Zoom. In it, she asks, "Wait, but you know I'm 17, right? I don't know how old you are." Maddie responds, "Yeah, don't worry, it's all good. I'm not that much older." The girl then says, "Okay, if you say so. I'm sad we can't meet in person because of this stupid pandemic." Then there's another account from a different girl describing her experience with Maddie. She says, "This happened in late 2020. They said they were 20. I don't know if that's true. I don't know much about them, but I told them I was 17, and they continued to reach out to me and ask to FaceTime and stuff." Then there's another person who says, "It was like 4 years ago. My cousin and I were hanging out, and she was showing me that Maddie was flirting with her. We were like 13 at the time." Then another person said that Maddie liked her thirst trap posts when she was just 16 years old. And another comment said, "Maddie and I went on 2 dates down in HB, California, and I was 17. At the time I thought it was so cool to be dating someone older, but looking back now, I am disgusted." Then there's an entire series of screenshots of what appears to be a very explicit conversation that Maddie allegedly had with a 14-year-old. For this one, we'll let Bella do the talking.
I can't see what they were talking about before, but it goes, "That's so cute. Oh my God, stop smiling. I'm nice to you, but I'm not that nice to you. Stop blushing and get your head in the game, loser. Ayo, laugh my ass off. Your expressions are priceless. Get the out. I'm so funny. You're hilarious. Tee-hee. Michael Jackson. Wait, dude, how old are you? This is the first green flag that we get from Maddie Westbrook so far." Yes. 18. Dude, are you not? No. 16? Y'all, this girl is almost 15. I don't know if you can do math, but that means 14 years old. Said, "Shut the up. Haha, you're a child. You are a child. Oh my God, holy Christ, no way." Okay, I just turned my camera for dramatic effect. So they're texting while they're on this like group call right now. Said, "I take 18 as a compliment. I look younger. How the do you think 18? Like, where did you get that from?" Said, "Well, you're in a Zoom call with the average age of probably 20, so I got it from that." Well, yeah, a child? I'm adopting you? Merry Christmas. Oh my God, thank you. Of course, did you do your homework? Am I parenting right? Yes, but I don't know, I'm probably gonna you up. You're gonna have daddy issues. Uh-oh. Damn, okay. Never in my right mind would I be a 20-year-old telling a 14-year-old girl that I'm gonna f them up and give them daddy issues. What are you thinking, dude? Like, what are you thinking, texting a minor that? And you're like, oh, but like they acknowledge that they're a child and they're gonna be in a parental role now. What are you talking about? You might think, oh, they must have stopped shortly after that, right? Right? No. My mom is an 8th grade teacher. They still eat their boogers. Oh my God, no way. To be fair, I was in the 8th grade last year, so I can't say anything. But at least I'm not in middle school. Good, worst 3 years of my life. Yeah, middle school sucks ass. Why are you talking to a minor like this, dude? Don't worry, I'll come back from the store with milk. They're gonna attack you for simping now. Hey, at least not everyone, I'm not the youngest out of everyone. The youngest is like 13 in 8th grade. Literal child, no wait, oh my God. Now you're rushing. No, don't rush getting older there, bud. You'll miss it. Yeah, I know. I feel ancient. Goddamn, you're 20, right? Yep. That's insane. But as old as fuck. There's no shit for it.
So yeah, this was definitely something. That said, the validity of these screenshots is still unconfirmed. Maddie hasn't admitted to anything, but at the very least, they look legitimate and might hold some truth. And let's be real, if they are real, it's not like Maddie would openly admit it. We also know that Bella isn't always seen as the most reliable source, but more and more people are starting to believe her. One big reason we've begun to trust her account is that she gave a very solid explanation for the accusations Maddie made against her. Remember, in their response video, they claimed Bella was stalking them and making physical threats. Well, Bella calls this reactive, and we can't ignore the fact that they used messages she sent while in a vulnerable state during a fight.
Dated for 2 years, you weirdo. What are you talking about? Okay, so they post some texts that I sent them, let's see, in February. So this is the very end of our relationship. Again, February 2023, end of our relationship completely. You can see why. I am unhinged. I'm losing my goddamn mind. We are experiencing in this what is clinically called reactive. And nothing I said in here was okay. Okay? Let's just get that off the table. But hey, at least the things that I were saying that wasn't okay was to another adult. Right? You have minor allegations, and the first thing we're gonna talk about is me saying, Maddie, if you don't call me back, I'm gonna show up.
So while Maddie claims Bella was stalking and threatening them, we can't ignore that they were in a seriously toxic relationship for a long time. Seeing how Bella reacts to things, a lot of this seems like her usual behavior rather than her actually threatening Maddie. Something else to note, Bella tends to respond to pretty much anything in the most toxic way possible. She's definitely toxic herself, but Maddie isn't a saint either. Based on whatever receipts have been shared so far, it looks like their downfall might just be starting. Both Bella and Maddie are reportedly ready to take things to court, and Bella even filed for a cease and desist.
Maddie, you're so dumb. You're so dumb for making that reply video, dude. Go ahead and get your lawyers. I would love for a judge to see this. Please. I already got one ex down bad in court. I'm down to get another one. Come on. Let's do it. I'm a good lawyer.
Bella actually declared that she's taking Maddie to court. She said, "I've officially gotten a cease and desist. I wish I could post it because it's genuinely so funny. But yeah, guys, I gotta go quiet on this now. Thank you for the belief and the support." And guess what? Maddie also allegedly sent a cease and desist to Bella, but she has since said that it was fake and even openly mocked it. She pointed out that the cease and desist contained spelling mistakes and even uploaded a video mocking the entire document. By doing so, she essentially provided evidence suggesting that Maddie might have faked it. People in the comments were asking why Maddie would fake a cease and desist if he truly believed he was in the right. Someone said, "Keep in mind Maddie would have no reason to fake a cease and desist unless JS was telling the truth." Actually, in the comments, a lot of people seem to be supporting Bella. One user wrote, "Maddie just needs to fess up. People are only on their side because of your past, even though you have changed." Another person asked, "Isn't forging a legal document illegal?" And someone else commented, "I don't understand how people are still on Maddie's side." And this is one question we're gonna address. Why are some people still on Maddie's side, even though the evidence seems to point toward them possibly lying? The answer is simple. People hate only JS. And once the internet turns against someone, it's really hard to redeem them, especially if they've made mistakes so frequently in the past. This is very true in only JS's case. While they've been homophobic and extremely racist in the past, we gotta consider that Bella has consistently shown efforts to improve, at least to some extent. What happened was years ago, and nobody deserves to be punished indefinitely for past mistakes. At the end of the day, though, it's clear that neither party is entirely innocent in this situation. The relationship itself was toxic, and that's undeniable. But the accusations against Maddie go beyond just internet drama. People need to stop blindly supporting them, or at the very least acknowledge what's happening so the audience can be more aware. But wait a sec, this is still not over. Maddie uploaded their own version of the story to reclaim the truth. However, many people noted that they seemed very selective about what they chose to discuss. Unlike Bella's video, their video didn't cover everything. It focused only on points that could be defended easily. For example, Maddie admitted to cheating on Bella, which they acknowledged as completely inexcusable. They also claimed that during Bella's initial video, she didn't mention Noor, Amara, or anyone else involved, effectively leaving out key details that were part of the broader accusations.
Me cheating in the past around 3 years ago. So yes, while Bella and I were in a relationship, I kissed someone else. That was wrong, and there are absolutely zero excuses for it. And in their initial video, when they told the internet that I cheated on them, never once did they mention Noor, never once did they mention Amara, and never once did they mention Minor.
According to Maddie, if these things weren't brought up before, then they must be lies. Honestly, that's a pretty weak response to kick off a video, especially considering the scale of Bella's expose. Let's not forget, Bella created an emotionally charged, nearly 40-minute-long video packed with receipts, screenshots, and first-hand accounts. And that's the best Maddie could come up with, simply claiming, well, they didn't bring it up before, so it must be false. That argument barely scratches the surface and does little to address the overwhelming evidence presented. On top of that, Maddie did admit that Noor was in their apartment and that they shared a kiss. Even if he tries to downplay it as nothing intimate happened, this is still highly irresponsible behavior. It's hard not to question what intimate even means in Maddie's definition because, for most people, kissing someone underage crosses a clear line of boundaries and accountability.
Noor and I met when I first moved to LA in 2021, and so on June 16th, 2021, I posted this video of me and Noor. Looking back, it is wildly irresponsible and incredibly stupid of me to be making these videos with somebody when they were 17 and I was 20. And in regards to my initial video, I will always stand on the fact that absolutely nothing romantically intimate or physically intimate happened with Noor, even though making those videos was an extremely poor judgment.
So yes, even though Maddie claimed in their video that they weren't 21 but 20 at the time, that's still just an explanation, one that doesn't change the facts. The internet may have mixed opinions about age gaps like 19 and 23 dating, but in this case it's pretty black and white. Maddie was over 18 and they kissed a 17-year-old. That's the simple truth, and according to the evidence, it actually happened. There's no gray area here. And the worst part, we're seeing all of these videos of them on TikTok, hugging, kissing, and cuddling, and then Maddie has the guts to say that they had intentions of getting involved with minors.
This Zoom call ended up messaging, and as you can see, when I asked how old they were, and they told me, I freaked out, and for some idiotic reason, I tried to make a joke. I deeply regret sending that text message. I should not have been using that language with somebody who was younger than me. I should not have said that. And as you can see from this screenshot, that Bella absolutely refuses to acknowledge. This same person who screen recorded our entire conversation that Bella read out loud in their YouTube video is clearly stating that I stopped talking to them after I found out how old they were. I also do want to take a second here to clarify that this person and I were not friends. We met on a Zoom call in 2020 and had one conversation, and then we stopped talking. That's not friendship. And in Bella's YouTube video, they decided to say this. And I have proof that somebody who screen recorded a conversation we had in 2020 told Bella that we stopped talking once I...
That's crazy. This is like actually crazy. You just showed this, like, you cut it off. You cut off this one part.
Of course, I wanted to show this one part. It's the most important part. It proves that I had absolutely zero intentions of flirting with this person.
Maddie also tried his best to explain in the crappiest way possible, saying that he stopped talking to these girls once he found out their age. He claimed that they weren't trying to flirt, and that the conversations were normal. But watching the messages, it's obvious they were definitely flirtatious. Throughout the entire video, all Maddie did was sit there and deny the accusations, saying things like, "This never happened," or "That never happened," and expecting people to just take his word for it. Unsurprisingly, many viewers noticed how evasive this was.
Zero follow through when Bella asked them for more information.
It was like 4 years ago, my cousin and I were hanging out, and she was showing me that Maddie was flirting with her, and we were like 13 at the time. Do I think that a famous adult should be texting 13-year-olds? No!
Because that's a lie. That never happened.
This person says, "Thanks for speaking up about Maddie." They messaged me too a few years ago when I almost turned 17.
That's a lie. No, I did not.
We have this person that said, "Maddie and I went on 2 dates down in Huntington Beach, California. When I was 17, I thought it was so cool dating somebody older, but now I look back and I'm disgusted." I do remember Maddie hanging out a lot at the beach around that time, like a lot. We had some friends that had like a bus.
Not only was that a lie, because that never happened, I went through my camera roll because I take pictures everywhere I go. And I've never even been to Huntington Beach.
I also had another person reach out being like, "Hey, is it weird that like Maddie liked a thirst trap of mine when I was 16?
They spent a full 3 minutes reading these and feeding into the baseless lies. Do you know how many people would make up lies just to message a popular content creator? Because I guarantee you, it's more than you think.
If we look at the comment sections, a lot of people are asking why Maddie didn't address the Nicholas situation. One commenter said, "Notice how Maddie is picking and choosing what they want to talk about that they think they can prove, whether they talk about Nick." Someone even commented, "Take a shot every time Maddie says that never happened." And honestly, that pretty much sums up the entire response video. It was 30 minutes of Maddie repeatedly denying the allegations, insisting that nothing inappropriate ever took place. The problem is that the explanations provided felt, at best, skeptical and incomplete. The questions surrounding the Nicholas situation are also completely valid. Nora's claims against Nick were serious. And according to the text messages shown in Bella's video, Nora said that she had approached Maddie about the incident, but Maddie allegedly refused to speak to the detective about it. In the audio message she left Bella, she said, "Mind you, I was on an hour-long phone call with Maddie after everything happened, and I was like, I really need your help with this because this is a really detrimental and traumatic situation that I'm being put through, and they didn't want to help at all. I tried to get them to talk to the detective on my case, and they just wouldn't. So I don't know why they're like, I would love to call and figure this out. Like, no, this has been a torment for me for 5 years. I'm so confused." So yes, if Nora is to be trusted, if what she's saying is true, then that would mean Maddie not only protected Nick, but may have indirectly enabled him in situations involving a minor. And that's a huge allegation. What makes this even more shocking is that Maddie has been seen as somewhat of a hero within the LGBTQ TikTok community for a long time. The support and admiration they received were massive. But now with all of these accusations and screenshots circulating, the narrative seems to be shifting pretty quickly. On the other hand, while everyone continues talking about Maddie, they've gone completely silent on social media. The last video they uploaded on TikTok was the 13 of nothing video, and since then it's been quiet. There hasn't been much confirmed information about whether this situation is heading to court or if Maddie is facing any legal consequences. At this point, most of what's circulating is speculation. And that's all for today's video. We hope you found this informative. If you did, leave a comment and let us know what you think about the entire situation, especially the texting allegations involving minors and the dating timeline with Amara. Do you think a 22-year-old dating a 19-year-old is acceptable, or does it cross the line? Let us know your thoughts.
So you know this text that they're parading around being like, look, the child said that I stopped talking to them when I found out they were a child. Notice how it's cut off? That's because I said it's worth sharing, because telling a 14-year-old you're gonna give them daddy issues is strange. I said, man, I didn't even think about that. Hold up, let me get the rest of our messages, and they sent the rest because it didn't stop. Which that whole thing I did put in my YouTube video if you wanted to go see it. But you know what they didn't put in their video? Nick. They didn't mention Nick at all. I wonder why. They also said that them being with a 17-year-old wasn't cheating on me because we weren't dating at the time. That is just laughable because we had been dating for 2 months at this point, and all this happened in July. Everybody wants me to respond to it, but I don't think y'all heard. They admitted to it, while also trying to downplay it, and then also at the same time saying that Bella's a liar. Bella lied about everything.
Nobody talks about how hard it is to be skinny, pretty, famous, rich, a virgin, okay? Do you know that everywhere I go, I get stalked? Because everyone either wants to date me, they're like, my son wants you, or they just like take pictures. Funniest part about this is that now people are actually seeing more of me and like, I fucking love this girl. And now all the people who are like, yeah, all eyes on you, where? Bitch, all eyes on me now. The whole fucking internet is talking about me. Like, stay mad.
In the vast ecosystem of internet personalities, it takes something truly special to stand out. And someone like Talia Breyer, a 21-year-old coming-of-age influencer, managed to achieve this feat by uniting the internet in a war against her words and looks.
Have you guys seen that girl who thinks she's pretty? She's honestly the ugliest motherfucker I've ever seen. Like, she looks like fucking Nicolas Cage. Ew, really fucking wrong.
My daughter looks like Nicolas Cage.
Apparently, that's what everybody's saying. That
we don't hate that girl who said life is so hard because she is so beautiful and famous because she's confident. We hate her because she's not, and her confidence is.
Talia bases her content on narcissistic claims. She said that being too pretty makes going out in public too intimidating for her.
Being pretty makes going out in public so fucking intimidating. And guys make it so obvious too. Like, I hear you. Like, I literally hear what you're whispering to your friends, and I see you all fucking staring at me.
She also claimed that she has never been told no in her entire life.
I've literally never been told no in my life. Honestly, being spoiled growing up has taught me that I can get anything.
Talia carries herself so aloofly, you'd think she has millions of followers, but it's not even up to 100K across her social media accounts. Talia is a perfect storm of privilege, insecurity, and an almost impressive lack of self-awareness.
Not just about money. Energy, I attract the people, the opportunities. I literally said this year I'm gonna become an influencer, and it's literally been 6 months and I'm a fucking influencer.
She's not just another influencer with a controversial take. She's someone who grew up in a bubble as thick as her brain.
That people are looking at you in public is not because of how you look, but rather maybe because you are just loud.
This is someone who believes that being broke means you accept the bare minimum.
Guys, I'm with my assistant. I'm like, is it mean to call people broke? And she's like, what you really mean is broke adjacent. You're not broke because you have no money. You're broke because you accept the bare minimum. You do nothing. The bar is literally in hell and you can't even meet it.
Talia shames only women for participating in hookup culture, claiming that they need to stay pure for their husbands. She advises 15-year-olds to get nose jobs if they want.
Oh, if you're a girl between like 15 and like honestly any age above that, why are you not caring about how you look? Like, I always was like, I just love myself the way I am. Like, I'm not gonna change anything. No, bitch. If there's something that's always bothered you, change it.
And she herself uses Ozempic to lose weight. The central question here isn't whether Talia is arrogant or rage baiting. She's practically a spoiled lady with a brat mentality.
Daddy's money, you want a credit card, you want to be set for life. It's harder than you think. People will just assume that you have enough money for them too. And it's like, sorry? I'm not gonna share daddy's money with you. Like, it's mine. Tell your daddy to work harder. Like, this is mine.
But is this behavior genuine narcissism? Or is it an armor built from layers of insecurity? And how harmful can her philosophies of beauty standards be to people with low self-esteem? Grab your popcorn as we unravel the layers of Talia Breyer, one controversial take after another.
I love being an influencer because I fucking love attention. Like, yes, watch my shit. Comment on it, talk about me, I don't care. Have my name in your mouth, I'm happy. I love attention. Talia, 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 Talia. What? I love it.
Let's start with the main topic that got everyone talking. A video Talia posted on December 16th, 2025 with the caption, "Being pretty and insta-famous is not for the weak." While sitting in a car, Talia launched herself into a monologue about how being pretty had become a burden for her. She claimed that men are always staring at her and she couldn't handle the pressure.
Being pretty makes going out in public so fucking intimidating. And guys make it so obvious too. Like, I hear you. Like, I literally hear what you're whispering to your friends and I see you all fucking staring at me. And then also, like, this guy literally tried to, like, walk into me to, like, get my... I'm like, oh my fucking god.
You can see how much she tried to look frustrated by her situation. Talia grumbled about how the attention she was receiving was intimidating. Having multiple pairs of eyes staring at her gave her so much anxiety.
And this is not even to be like, oh my god, I'm just so beautiful. But it really is true. Like, going in public, being a pretty girl, you know you're being looked at. And it's intimidating. Like, I don't know. I also didn't grow up looking like this. And so being seen, like, all eyes on me like this, gives me so much fucking anxiety.
Now, beautiful people face unique challenges like unwanted attention, harassment, or being taken less seriously in professional contexts. These are real issues, but Talia wasn't discussing any of that. She was literally complaining that she gets too much attention and that she wouldn't go to the mall alone because she wasn't used to being seen and talked about.
But oh my gosh, I went to the mall today for the first time in so long, and I'm not gonna lie, I never want to do it again, and I never want to go in public again by myself because I don't know. I need to get used to just like being seen and being looked at and being like whispered about.
This is a level of self-confidence you don't see in a person. To some, it could even pass as blind arrogance, because Talia was speaking so highly of her own appearance. And here's the thing that made this situation particularly delusional. At the time of this video, Talia had roughly 55,000 Instagram followers. Now, 55,000 is nothing. Creators often struggle to meet that mark. But in Talia's case, it wasn't exactly Kardashian-level fame. She mentioned how she often heard people talking about how she had a social media following.
And honestly, what I think it actually is that makes it all worse is now that I have a social media following, I hear people being like, oh, I follow her on Instagram, or like people will come up to me.
On this note, one thing is super clear. Talia sees herself as someone who is Insta-famous and has eyes pinned on her the minute she steps into the outside world. She probably thinks she's the avatar of the beauty world. There's nothing particularly bad with the way she loves herself and holds herself in high esteem. Everyone's entitled to their own feelings and level of self-love and appreciation. But Talia's way of addressing the issue either shows that she's narcissistic or a talented rage baiter. Who would call themselves Insta-famous with less than 100,000 followers on Instagram? It's the kind of following where you might get recognized occasionally in your hometown, but it's not enough for the whole mall to be staring at you and whispering. This is one factor that made Talia's story sound satirical. Was she serious or pulling the internet's legs? Talia's attitude in the whole video is similar to someone who's experiencing the burden of being a universally recognized beauty, a modern-day Helen of Troy, whose face could launch 1,000 ships, or at least 1,000 awkward conversations at Walmart. The internet, as you might imagine, did not take kindly to this display. The comments section was a firestorm of funny reactions. Some wondered who this uber-famous lady was. Others wished they could be as delusional as she was. Damn, I need to be this delusional. I want the voices that live in your head. They're so nice to you. Quite a number of people didn't take Talia seriously. In fact, some pointed out that maybe, just maybe, she wasn't getting stared at for the reasons she thought. Maybe eyes weren't on her because she was pretty, but because she was loud. This creator called Michelle's Public Diary laid out this assumption.
Maybe the reason that people are looking at you in public is not because of how you look, but rather maybe because you are just loud.
She also laid emphasis on the fact that pretty girls don't boast that they're pretty, and they barely take note of who's staring at them. The only instance where they might be aware of the unwanted attention is if they're consciously looking for those secret admirers.
There are probably so many people who stare at you on the street every day, admiring your beauty, but the only ever time you may clock that is if you're visibly looking for people to be looking at you.
This hot take could really be the case with Talia. Judging from her proud attitude, it's possible that she'd been busy fishing for her possibly invisible admirers. Or maybe she was battling insecurities and using the "I'm pretty" discourse as a public self-confidence boost. Whatever the case may be, Talia did get the attention she was seeking through this video. On Instagram, it gained over 890 likes. It's not much, but the real game changer was her TikTok account, where she amassed over 200,000 likes and 3.7 million views. With just one viral clip, Talia had cemented her place in internet history. Unfortunately, her name traveled around the internet, not for nice reasons, but because of her perceived satirical arrogance. And here's where it gets truly fascinating. Most people, when faced with this level of backlash, would either apologize or quietly delete the video and hope the internet would forget. But not Talia. Instead of quietly exiting the spotlight, she returned with a follow-up video, calling her haters average people.
I'm pretty and I know I'm pretty, and that makes people so fucking mad.
In the video, Talia claimed that a lot of negative comments about her looks came from men, and she responded by saying that she fit the beauty standards.
People, mostly guys, trying to gaslight me and be like, you're not pretty, you're chopped. Bitch, you literally cannot tell me that I'm not objectively pretty. I fit the beauty standard. That is just a fucking fact. And the funny thing is, I don't see it as that much of a personal thing.
Talia admitting that a lot of hate came from men is quite contradicting, especially when you consider everything she'd stated in her viral video. She had claimed that she was so pretty that the stares she received gave her anxiety. Now, if that were true, the internet's reaction would have leaned more to a positive angle. Many commenters would have attested to that. Also, there would have been more people acting in her defense. However, there was not, and this spoke volumes to how they didn't regard her as highly as she did herself. Talia spoke with the kind of conviction usually reserved for conspiracy theorists and cult leaders. She affirmed that she was very beautiful and no one could ever make her hate herself.
You can't gaslight me. I know I'm fucking pretty. You could never make me hate myself. Truly.
Then, in the same breath, she claimed everyone who reacted negatively to her post were bots. For Talia, none of her commenters exist in her own universe.
I don't even believe in any of the hate on social media. You're a fucking bot. No one's ever said this shit to my face, so that's how I know you're a fucking bot. You don't exist in my universe.
This time the comments were largely in support. They believed Talia was indeed pretty. These were the top liked comments. You guys can hate the take, but she is definitely pretty. Y'all are mad, she's pretty. She is pretty though. Even her sister, Kaylee Anna, who has over 2 million followers on TikTok, spoke in her defense.
Talia Breyer is my little sister. Funny enough, if you haven't seen my page, my whole page is about confidence. But I'm also 6 years older than her. My confidence comes from a place of going through a lot of crap.
Kaylee explained that Talia pushes her raw energy online and it often gets her misunderstood.
I always tell her that she comes across different in her videos than she does in real life because she is only showing that raw side of her. Just right now, she's young and figuring out how to express herself.
In the end, she urged her audience to give her little sister a chance.
I hope you guys give my little sister a chance because she is so confident and so inspiring. She inspires me, and I think you guys will love her too when she starts opening up. Be nice to my little sister and stay confident. Bye, girls.
The big question in Talia's situation at this point was whether she was being arrogant or confident. Talia could be seen as extremely confident. Her subsequent videos followed the same format. Talia would sit in front of her camera and affirm that she's pretty and she's well aware of it. And anyone who didn't believe her or spoke contrary to that was either miserable or jealous of her.
I'm pretty. I know I'm pretty. Even worse, I'll say out loud that I think I'm pretty. Nothing makes an insecure person more angry than seeing someone who has confidence. Misery loves company. Remember that.
It feels as though she's manifesting positivity amidst the internet's disapproval. She always fought back with the self-awareness of a brick wall, the confidence of someone who's never been told they might be wrong about something. At some point, she started preaching about how her viral take was based on pure delusion.
Me even being able to believe I'm so pretty that everyone's staring at me doesn't come from nowhere. And you can say I'm delusional, but who cares if it's delusional? Good, be fucking delusional. I literally want that for all of you, genuinely.
But here's the thing about the whole delusional topic. Delusion is a way of deceiving yourself. It's a system where one believes something that couldn't possibly be true. By saying that she was being delusional when she made that video, she's more or less admitting to the fact that she was deceiving herself. So in this case, the word delusion is misused and even abused. Talia often told her audience to identify themselves with confidence and high self-worth by being delusional. For her, this was the perfect life hack.
Delusion is literally the biggest life hack ever, and it's a skill because everyone around you will tell you to be realistic.
But once again, it appears that she doesn't realize that the word she's referring to isn't delusion, but manifestation. By believing and reaffirming to yourself about something that isn't real yet, you're manifesting and not being delusional. And the truth of the matter is that Talia wasn't just manifesting in her videos. She believed every word she said about her looks being a head-turner. She believed that she couldn't go to the mall alone because thousands of eyes would be on her and the attention was intimidating. And this brings us back to the question of what drives her conviction. When we take a look at all her I'm pretty videos, Talia's level of confidence borders on narcissism. This is defined as a recurring habit of always thinking about yourself and admiring yourself. Talia's content continued to revolve around how pretty and perfect she was.
Sometimes people be like, just ignore, ignore, take the high road.
Yes.
And it's like, high road.
and she believes she's the best person in the world.
I have always thought that I was perfect and beautiful and amazing and that nobody could top me. Say that I'm a narcissist, say I have too big of an ego, I like myself too much. I don't really care because I'm fucking happier than you. I can guarantee that. I'm the best person in the world. And
Her entire personality revolved around discussions pertaining to how she and the internet regarded her physical appearance.
I'm pretty and I know I'm pretty. The thing is, I do have an ego. I do have a superiority complex. Because why would I, the only person who lives in my own universe and has been there through every moment, every experience, every conversation, believe that somebody else is on my level?
The gap between Talia's self-perception and reality became a joke. She was merely someone with a modest social media following, acting like she couldn't leave her house without being mobbed by admirers. It was the kind of delusion that's usually reserved for people who've actually experienced fame and can't adjust to its absence, except Talia seemed to be preemptively acting this way without ever having truly been famous. But what exactly made Talia to become this whipped about her physical appearance? To understand that, we need to get into a timeline from the past.
you're kind of dumb. Like, I can't fix stupid. There are like a lot of things you can fix, stupid, not one of them.
In what might be the most honest thing she's ever said, Talia once admitted that she has never been told no in her life.
Literally never been told no in my life. Honestly, being spoiled growing up has taught me that I can get anything I want in the world.
Let that sink in for a moment. 21 years on this planet, and not a single person has ever denied her anything? The reasonable explanation for why she has this mindset is the existence of wealthy parents. Truly, Talia's family's well off. There are 9 of them in their household, 4 boys and 4 girls. Talia's parents, Mark and Alexis Pryor, are lawyers, and they both run a TikTok account for their firm, The Husband and Wife Law. The account has over 220,000 followers. Talia's parents are quite the character, especially her dad, Mark. On the team's page, you can see that he brings the drama to content creation. Mark would review law shows and offer advice in areas they got it wrong.
We looked into Mr. Walton because he committed a violent assault, and your bureau was content to do nothing about it.
I know it's just a show, but these lawyers are sitting there talking to someone investigating them when all of you know you don't talk to the police and you...
He's a music lover. Mark raps at meetings. He also dances during said meetings.
What was the cop doing? Looking at her. She hit the floor. Next thing you know, shorty got low.
And he parties hard too. Mark is basically a teenager in an older body. This is the man who raised Talia and her 7 siblings. Mark and Alexis are so well known in the field that they often have interactions with celebrities like the Jonas Brothers.
Oh, it's funny you should ask, Jonas Brothers, because yes, we are hiring.
And Drake.
That's Drake.
When you open it up, it says October's very own. It doesn't say anything about Drake.
That's Drake's company.
Get out of here.
That's Drake's company. What does it say?
You can never go wrong with some OVO merch either.
Drake just sent my wife stuff. Yes.
Not much is known about the family outside their social media spaces, but this glimpse into Talia's parents' occupation offers a glimpse of the kind of comfortable life she must have experienced growing up. Talia's been around a supportive environment from a young age. In one video, she sang and danced to the song Fancy by Iggy Azalea and Charlie XCX at age 12.
You're a chant for Talia, so she knows you're here. Do it with me. Ready?
Even up to this very moment, her dad spoils her. In one recent video, he bought 2 cups of strawberry matcha just because she couldn't pick between her options.
That looks so good. You got 3? Yeah.
Yes, she couldn't decide, so she got 2.
I knew Dad was paying, so I got an extra.
This is why it seems as if Talia lives in her own small bubble. Talia graduated from NYU, one of the most expensive universities in America, where tuition alone runs over $60,000 per year. At age 19, Talia gained early success in real estate. She supposedly sold 5 houses in 6 months.
I went to NYU, graduated a year and a half early, started a business while I was there, moved home, did real estate at 19 years old while I went to school online, sold 5 houses in my first 6 months.
If it were true, it's quite impressive. For a 19-year-old teenager with no experience and no track record to sell 5 properties in a year and a half in what's typically a highly competitive relationship-driven industry, that's quite a feat. But then again, it's possible that her wealthy parents most likely pulled strings for her. Maybe they bought the properties and let her handle the sales to family friends. Maybe they bankrolled her real estate license and set her up with their network. Or maybe they told their rich friends to patronize their daughter. Either way, Talia found strength and pride in her self-made success at 19 in real estate, and rightfully so. Anyone in her position would be brimming with happiness. However, she always pours that energy into her brat mentality. Mind you, this isn't just inspirational talk. Brat Mentality is Talia's brand, an online platform where she hosts confidence masterclasses. You see, Talia's brat mentality stems from a belief system she was conditioned into from years of being spoiled by her rich parents. For her, this privileged upbringing is equal to her sense of entitlement to everything that comes her way.
I'm the luckiest person literally ever. I receive miracles every second of every day. People are always like, oh my God, how do you get this? How do you get that? How do you get literally everything you want? Because I'm a brat. Because I believe I deserve it. Because I know it's gonna happen. I'm so certain beyond my own logic that I'm gonna get the thing I want, that it just happens for me.
Once again, this manner of speech shows the disconnect between her and the reality most people face. If Talia believes that she can get whatever she wants, that high amount of confidence can make her think she's the piece of hotcake that everyone wants to stare at. And it's also why, although she could be coming from a good place, the vast majority on the internet would think otherwise. Because her choice of words doesn't set her up to be the most humble girl on the planet. Talia's background is crucial because it explains everything else. When you've never been told no, when every door has been opened by family wealth, and when your desires are always handed to you on a silver platter, you develop a warped sense of how the world works. You start to believe that the reason you have things is because you deserve them, because you manifested them with your good energy, and you're most likely in the better position to coach others on that. But how can you teach people when your mindset is already on a pedestal? How can Talia ever bring her level of thinking to someone who barely gets what they want in life? This is what makes her confidence quite alarming, because Talia has not only decided to use her platform to tell the world how pretty she is, she's also taken it upon herself to teach others to be like her.
Connect with more people than you. I have better energy. I don't give a shit. I think I'm the best person in the world, and I want to teach you to think you're the best person in the world. I don't give a fuck. In fact, I don't want anyone to idolize me or think I'm God or think I'm the best person in the world. I want you to think that about yourself, because...
And this offers her the entire situation starts getting ugly. What is Talia preaching to other people, and how harmful could it possibly be? Talia developed her entire philosophical framework to justify her tone-deaf privilege, and at the center of this framework is one of the most extreme beliefs you can hold, that poverty is a moral failing. Talia has repeatedly stated that broke people have bad energy, not that broke people might be stressed or struggling. She openly stated that they have fundamentally bad energy, that poor people accept the bare minimum.
Guys, I'm with my assistant. I'm like, is it mean to call people broke? And she's like, what you really mean is broke adjacent. You're not broke because you have no money. You're broke because you accept the bare minimum. You do nothing. The bar is literally in hell and you can't even meet it.
For her, money isn't only a resource, it's energy. And if you don't have it, it's because your energy is wrong. You don't want it bad enough. You're not manifesting correctly. You're basically a worse person.
That's why you're broke. And money is just energy, so it goes right along with that.
Talia then proceeded to talk about how being poor and broke is a direct consequence of broke decision-making. According to her worldview, you're only broke in life because of the choices you make.
Broke in the decisions you make. You're broke in life. Being rich is having freedom, enjoying life, loving the people around you, having a relationship with God. That's rich.
From the way Talia is speaking, you might assume 2 things. 1, she's a Nepo baby. He grew up sheltered. And 2, she has a complete failure to understand how structural inequality works. In her mind, people who struggle financially simply haven't tried hard enough or don't have the right mindset. The irony of someone who's never experienced real financial hardship lecturing others about money was apparently lost on her. Talia believes that broke people have time to vape and party, but the reality is that poor people suffer from lack of connections, skills, and access to certain knowledge pools that can get them financial breakthroughs in life. Poor people spend time trying to live hand to mouth. Not all of them go into clubs to drink and waste away. Talia doesn't see this. Why? because she grew up privileged. This is why she's not in a position to lecture people about mindset. There's a disconnect between her reality and experiences and that of the average person who struggles from the grassroots level. She talks like a preacher on the pulpit, telling her audience that if rich people are making it, so also can the poor. And do you know what trick Tally believes would make this belief system work? Her brat mentality.
You know how you get there with the brat mentality, believing you deserve everything that comes your way. You deserve everything good in the world and more. Because if other people are living on this earth, having things you want, then you know it's possible for you too.
Tally essentially mixed prosperity teachings with delusional positivity in this Instagram-friendly message. Just like what she did in this video, she displays the kind of thinking that lets wealthy people sleep at night by convincing themselves that poor people deserve their poverty. This is someone who claimed that she has never been told no in her life. She achieved success in real estate at age 19, and now she's talking about how people who struggle financially just don't have the right energy. This way of preaching is tone-deaf and harmful. When you have a platform, even a modest one, and you use it to spread the message that poverty is a choice and wealth is proof of moral superiority, you're contributing to a worldview that justifies inequality and punishes the vulnerable. You're telling struggling people that their struggle is their fault, that if they just had better energy or wanted it more, they'd be fine. It's victim blaming dressed up as a spiritual message, and this is only a fraction of what Tally is about. Tally didn't stop at one form of judgment. She also decided to use her platform to talk about women's sexuality and empowerment. Tally has built a significant portion of her content around crusading against hookup culture. In her words, it's low IQ activity, especially for women.
Hookup culture is a low IQ activity because I think you might actually just be stupid. Because if you actually think about it, it literally has no benefits for you, especially as a woman.
Now, there's nothing inherently wrong with choosing to wait for sex or preferring committed relationships. Different people have different values. The problem is how Talia frames this discussion. She doesn't position it as a personal choice, but as a moral imperative that separates good women from bad ones.
Hookup culture fucking disgusts me, and I mean that with every piece of my soul. Talia, I don't like the way you word things. You're so mean. Okay, and I don't like that you have zero respect for yourself, and you say you hate all men because you actually just attract the worst ones. Sorry.
Talia has even branded hookups as an action that men can do, but not women. She's made multiple videos to this effect, implying that hookup culture is for men. Men want sex, she said. But when it's women who want it, then it's stupid.
Hookup culture is fucking disgusting. I will shout it from the rooftops. It is nasty. Men want sex. And they're going to say exactly what you want to hear, do all the things to use you for your body. Don't fall for it. And if you hear that and you're like, women want sex too, you're stupid.
Tally doesn't believe that proper women should engage in casual sex.
Oh, well, there's two sides to every story. Yeah, but then there's the screenshots I got.
At the end of the day, everybody makes their own choices. But here Tally was shaming women for exercising their rights to bodily autonomy. She even went as far as insulting her former choice of clothing and slut-shaming herself to prove her point that women should respect themselves.
I was dressed like a slut here, okay? That's my 21st birthday outfit in Vegas. What was I doing?
By making an example out of this, Tally was inherently asserting that women's value as human beings is tied directly to their sexual history. This particular viewpoint could be arguably fair since she's preaching for modest dressing, but the approach is the problem. There are people who express their individuality through certain dress codes. It might not fit everyone's moral standards, but at the end of the day, it's still their choice. If no harm is done, then moral policing online could come off as pretty negative. For someone like Tally, who uses her platform to demean women for their choices, it truly sends a wrong message. Talia has shamed women for their body count.
If you participate in hookup culture, your worth is lower. Yup, sorry. You don't get to call yourself a Louis Vuitton bag when you cost $20. You don't get to say you're a high-value woman when it costs you fucking meeting you at the bar.
She implies that women who engage in casual sex are worth less as people.
Having a high body count as a woman lowers your worth. Oh my god, Talia, you're not a feminist, you're not a girl's girl. Oh my god, you hate women. Bitch, you hate women.
And here's the kicker. Tally does this while having zero personal experience with sex or relationships. She often boasts about being 21 with zero body count, although she already had her first kiss at 20. Tally has never had a serious relationship, yet she was lecturing other women about sexuality with the confidence of someone who's studied the topic extensively, except her research apparently consists of personal beliefs that are based on nothing.
Why are you acting weird?
I'm the village crazy lady.
That's my job.
And here's where it gets truly disturbing. Tally's worldview is contradictory. While she's out here shaming women for their sexuality and telling them to abstain from men to boost their self-worth, she's simultaneously giving pointers on how to attract men. She would post videos saying that she's never had a boyfriend, and men would see women like her as wife material.
Take it from a vet, that's a rookie-ass mistake, ayy.
Can you imagine that? Tally has spoken extensively about how hookup culture was reserved for men, yet at the same time, she posts about how men would respect women who maintain purity. This is one way of thinking. She excuses men for the same issues she shames women for, and she tries to empower women so they can be more appealing to these men. It's ironic and a little weird. What Tally hasn't realized is that her philosophies are still boiling down to male validation. In fact, everything she's been posting right from her viral I'm Pretty video has been all about male validation. She claimed people would stare at her, and when the internet didn't believe her, she kept returning to repeat herself, all under the guise of self-confidence. She spoke at length about how she hated being fat.
Well, and growing up, I had so much confidence. And then when I went to college and I gained weight, I just fucking hated myself and I hated life. Because I literally tried everything. Nothing was fucking working. Like, it would work a little bit and then I would gain weight and I'm like, how am I gaining weight? Like, I'm doing more than I ever have.
And in her mind, she didn't really fit the beauty standard.
People are getting so mad at me saying I fit the beauty standard. It's not about my race. Like, what? I did not fit the beauty standard before, and I've been the same race the entire time. I was overweight. That's the number one thing. 2, I had a bigger nose. That was another big thing.
Once again, beauty standards is a metric that showcases a woman's ability to stand out and attract people. It's also a concept that only punches at people's insecurities.
But honestly, fuck the beauty standard, because a man created that shit. And he created that shit so we could be on the internet eons later arguing and, no, I'm the beauty standard, no, I'm the beauty standard. Because men think that women arguing and competing against each other is hot.
Tally has shamed women for participating in hookup culture when they could stay pure while waiting for their husband. For her, doing this is disrespectful to your future husband, and you're being a menace.
You haven't met your person yet doesn't mean that you should be out there disrespecting him and yourself by participating in hookup culture and being a fucking menace to society.
Does she ever consider the fact that the future husband she speaks of could also be participating in hookup culture as well? Or does Tally believe only women partake in it? The double standards and misogyny are alarming. When you go through Tally's teachings, it's like you're living through the Middle Ages, where women were constantly conditioned to be proper and lukewarm in order to be accepted by men in society. And the crazy part is she believes she's the model example. Tally once mentioned how she had her first kiss at 20 and being single ever since was such a big flex that men would love.
Take it from a vet, that's a rookie-ass mistake, ayy.
Let's break down Tally's logic and principles. For her, women who have sex are worth less. Women who dress in revealing clothing are lesser. But also women should stay pure for their husbands because men love women who don't have high body counts and zero self-modesty. And what's the foundation of all this? Her complete inexperience and poor understanding of social relations. Tally has never truly navigated the complexities of adult relationships and never had to reconcile her values with real-world experience. She's constructed an entire philosophy of sexuality from the safety of having never participated in it, and she's convinced this somehow makes her more qualified to judge others. Tally's behavior seems to have its own rooted origins. It's understandable when you get to learn it.
You must be mean, you must be a bitch. You don't know me. You don't literally know anything about me. Why are you just like following me around, wanting to be best friends with me, like trying to literally leech off me, but simultaneously hating me? Like, you don't know what it's like.
Behind the classism, slut-shaming, and weaponized privilege, Tally's mind grew from a place of insecurity. She once opened up about her past, about her experience in middle school.
While the internet tries to humble me and debate if I'm pretty, I want to talk to you guys about what I went through in college and with my looks and what got me here.
According to her, she was bullied, and this made her hesitant to attend school.
Stay home from school because I was being bullied. Like, I would go late every day or like just not want to show up.
Her friends would throw an open invitation to everyone in the class except her. They always singled her out from group activities.
Remember, the kids in my class were literally so mean to me. They would like make group chats and leave me out of it, throw parties and be like, we're inviting every single person in the grade can come but Talia Breyer. Were just really mean to me, especially the boys.
Back in those days, she was fat, and Tally called this a traumatic time for her.
What What trauma have you been through? I was fat. People don't understand how traumatic and awful it is to be fat, and then the mind fuck you go through when you lose all the weight and get skinny. Fat is one of the hardest fucking things to ever go through. I stand by that.
From these confessions, we can see that Talia was not a person with complete confidence, but someone who has always had insecurities. She believed that people bullied her and exempted her because of her looks. For her, nothing good will come to her if she doesn't level up from her fat state. So she bought the solutions. Talia did a nose job and invested in Ozempic to lose weight.
I love life so much, and I also fucking love Ozempic, bro. I don't care what anybody says. Being on a GLP-1 has made my life about 1,000,000 times better.
She went through those extreme measures just so she could feel good about herself. Ozempic is a weekly injection prescribed primarily for patients with type 2 diabetes. Using it as a beauty procedure is more or less an abuse to its intended job. And here Talia was, spending between $900 and $1,000 per pen to maintain her looks.
Doing Ozempic, trying to be different, trying to be a newer woman. That shit look if you need a dick, you need.
And it wasn't only Ozempic. Talia was also obsessed with Botox.
Anyone telling you that you're too young for Botox is trying to make you ugly. Botox has literally changed my fucking life. It smooths your skin, your makeup goes on better, you don't look as exaggerated, especially for me. I have strong muscles, okay?
Now, there's nothing inherently wrong with cosmetic procedures. If someone wants to change their appearance and has the means to do so safely, that's their choice. But what's telling is what happened after Talia's transformation. She didn't become genuinely confident, she became defensively arrogant. She didn't develop real self-worth, she developed a desperate need for external validation. And in a bid to prove that she was still fighting for the female community, she began to push for advocacy for girls from age 15 and above. Talia told ladies within this age grade to invest in their looks by changing the areas they feel most insecure about.
Oh, if you're a girl between like 15 and like honestly any age above that, why are you not caring about how you look? Like, I always was like, I just love myself the way I am. Like, I'm not gonna change anything. No, bitch. If there's something that's always bothered you, change it.
According to Talia, anyone who isn't giving similar advice to these young ladies just wants them to be ugly. So she preaches that by changing your looks, you'll be able to change your life for the better and be able to give back to other people.
No one tells you that because they're preying on your fucking downfall because they want you to be ugly and fat and a loser. But I'm telling you, when you genuinely love the way you look, it fills your cup and it literally makes your life better, and it also makes you able to give to other people and like give that overflow. Because
she also said that God gave us doctors and plastic surgeons for a reason. They're there to give you a nose job if you want.
like with my nose job, people were like, don't do that. Like, you were born with this nose. Bitch, I don't care. I was born with this nose and God said, here's a doctor that can give you a new nose. And I said, thank you so much, God.
The sad part of this whole situation is that there are young, unassuming, insecure kids on the internet who would rush to follow her advice. Here's an example of a 15-year-old girl asking where she can get a nose job. And there are many others seeking her infinite wisdom on matters related to beauty and confidence. Talia's struggle with self-esteem somehow makes her toxic confidence understandable. It doesn't excuse it, but it can make people tolerate her controversial takes, right from the viral "I'm so pretty" video. But while this may be true, there's still another aspect of her healing process that could have been considered. For instance, Talia had the resources to address her insecurity in healthy ways. She could have gotten therapy instead of, or in addition to, cosmetic procedures. She could have done the internal work to build genuine self-worth instead of just changing her external appearance. She could have even used her platform to reach out to other insecure girls like herself to grow as a community and grow to love themselves first before proceeding with cosmetic surgery if needed. But instead of doing any of that, Talia spent money on her appearance but not her personal growth.
So now I'm getting famous. People are fighting about me. They think that I'm rage baiting. It's like making people mad on purpose.
She fixed her nose but not her mindset. She lost weight but gained a superiority complex. And now she's stuck in this cycle where she needs constant validation to maintain her illusion of confidence. So what's the moral of the Talia Breyer story? What are we supposed to take away from this particular corner of internet dysfunction? The simple answer is that people shouldn't be pressured into fitting the beauty standard. Beauty standards are man-made perceptions. In some ways, they're even social constructs. Ideas that people unanimously believe is the right yardstick for attractiveness. This TikTok user named Tazania highlighted the part the media plays in portraying people with big noses as villains.
Our society's perception of beauty is so fucked up. As a big nose girly, do you know where I saw that growing up? It is always the villains. It is always the worst people you could imagine. In all the TV shows, all the movies, there's always the bad people that have the big noses.
Kids are made to watch villains who are painted in an ugly light with ugly aesthetics. And part of these aesthetics are big noses. Then guess who the angels are? The ones with light features and pointy noses.
The angels, all the good people, the people I'm supposed to look up to, they have those petite, small button noses.
This kind of portrayal often plants the root of insecurity. For Tizana, it got her wondering why her nose was big at such a young age.
As a little girl, just trying to watch TV, how's that supposed to make me feel? Mom, why is my big nose bad? Why are all the people that are pretty and good, why do they all have different noses than me? Why?
Imagine growing up being conscious of your nose your life. If you're rich, like Talia, you could get a nose job. If you're capable, you can also save to get the procedure. But if you don't have the means, you'll continue hating that part of your body, and extreme lectures from people like Talia will always haunt you.
There's so much forms of beauty out there, but I feel like society only has this one face in their head that is beautiful, when every human looks different.
The world has set beauty standards to taunt and push women into beauty investments. The same also applies to men when it comes to being rich and having a nice figure. However, the difference lies in the nature of the enhancement process. For men, they would have to work hard to earn money and also hit the gym to stay fit. On the other hand, women would most likely lean to cosmetic surgery. Talia is still on this path. She boasts about using Ozempic and Botox to enhance her looks. But the thing is, external changes don't heal internal wounds. You can reshape your entire face, lose all the weight, buy all the designer clothes, and cultivate the perfect Instagram aesthetic. But if you haven't done the work on your self-worth, you're just putting makeup on an open wound. This in turn will feed the system that had created the desperately craved beauty standards.
I just hate that the world makes some people feel like they have to change their bodies to get surgery to feel pretty. That should not be a thing. I think that is so wrong.
Till this very moment, Talia continues to talk to uninterested people about her viral videos and life as an influencer.
2 weeks ago, I made a video saying that when I go in public, people look at me because I'm pretty. And everybody got mad. Exactly, because they don't like when you say you're pretty. Because they say that you're cocky. So now, everybody on the internet is fighting.
She keeps recycling her content to no end, oversharing her early accomplishments.
I graduated from NYU in 2.5 years. Be jealous of me. Think that I'm smarter than you. Think that I'm the best. I am. That's exactly what that means. And by the way, bachelor's in science, not even a bachelor's in arts.
And before the internet moves on to the next controversial influencer, Talia will continue to be the most arrogant content creator of the year.
Am Albert Einstein, but prettier, skinnier, richer, and smarter. I fucking did that shit in 2.5 years. And literally, I was selling houses. I'm the fucking best. Bye.
From time immemorial, celebrity fandom has been a phenomenon of enduring fascination. One crazy fan broke into Megan Good's hotel room and left a flower on the bed. Ironically, a BTS fan did the exact same thing to Jimin, but instead of planting roses in the room, he licked the toilet bowl like it was some sacred ritual. And if you think that's weird, wait till you watch this. In case you're wondering, that's a clip from 1996, showing an overexcited South Korean fan clinging to Michael Jackson while his crane was in motion. Now that's a different level of crazy, but one delusional TikToker is making it look like child's play with her insane and disturbing obsession with Stranger Things character Eddie Munson. And she's none other than Sarah Rar.
Hi, I'm Sarah, I'm 28 years old, and I think I came up with the perfect jingle for Mountain Dew.
Sarah is what you would describe as an Eddie Munson superfan. Her entire room, including the ceiling, is covered with pictures of the fictional character. and she seems to have a meltdown every time the actor who played the role finds love in real life. Of course, that's not normal human behavior. As you discover in this video, normality isn't exactly Sarah's thing. She dramatically exaggerates everything to deceive her audience. Her online persona, her stories, everything. Sarah suffers from an artificial self-inflicted disease called chronic lying disorder. She has this special gift of cooking, packaging, and presenting false narratives as though they're true. And here's the thing, she's not just feeding those lies to others. She believes them so much that she'd defend them against even cold, hard facts presented by professionals.
I'm not being sarcastic, I'm being happy. Can I not be happy for the holidays? Is that a crime? Can I not be happy? Is that a crime? So I solemnly swear I will never say the word again. Okay, cool, we're good, okay.
From defending racial slurs to stopping imaginary school shootouts and faking seizures live on camera, this is the story of Sarah Rahr. Picking out Sarah's lies is a pretty difficult task, not because her stories are watertight and believable, but because her web of lies is so long, it's hard to know where to start. However, for the purpose of this video, I'll start with the one that pissed her audience off the most. As you'd imagine, many people were concerned that she could be struggling with a serious health issue. In fact, while the situation was unfolding, 2 people on the live asked if she was okay, and a few seconds later, Sarah responded.
Not again. I have to go to the doctor's tomorrow. I think I had another seizure.
At first glance, her story was touching. It was literally the perfect Hollywood script. I mean, think about it. The hero is a struggling upcoming streamer. Her goal is to become the next superstar on TikTok. And somewhere along the line, she's faced with an obstacle. In this case, a seizure. If she's ever able to overcome it and become the next big thing on TikTok, it could be the greatest comeback story ever. And even if she fails, she'll still be hailed as a heroine, someone who against all odds fought for success and only missed out due to a health challenge beyond her control. That's probably how Sarah hoped this situation would pan out. But what played out next was completely different. From the very second that the incident happened, her viewers noticed some weird things. Most especially how quickly she recovered from the seizure, almost like it never happened. According to an article on healthline.com, the immediate postictal phase of seizures, that is the recovery period after someone experiences a seizure, is typically between 5 and 30 minutes. The same publication also confirms that patients could suffer symptoms like confusion or fatigue during this phase, and that's consistent with the experiences of other people. Narrating their own ordeal, this user said, "I've had seizures since I was 13, almost 25 now, and each time I'm crying, confused, and can't even make full sentences for at least 10 to 15 minutes because my head hurts so bad and I'm so out of it." Similarly, another user detailed her mother's experience saying, "My mom had seizures, and she literally couldn't remember what year it was or who I was for a solid 30 minutes afterwards." Interestingly, Sarah didn't suffer any of these symptoms. Instead, she casually snapped out from the aggressive shaking to answer her mom, who was calling in the background. And a few moments later, she concluded that she just had a seizure and even remembered that she had seen the doctor about it.
Yeah. Not again. I have to go to the doctor's tomorrow. I think I had another seizure. My bones. My bones. I didn't mean to scare you. I've been having to go to the doctor's. I'm fine, I'm sitting. I'm fine.
At this point, her audience became even more irritated. Some people were literally questioning her age, and others couldn't even believe the video was real. Anyone who genuinely respects their audience could have backtracked here, but instead Sarah doubled down. She claimed that her ex, who has epilepsy, saw the video and confirmed that something was wrong with her. She also said that this same ex advised her to get medical help. Sarah would later claim that she sought help from 3 doctors, but none of them could figure out what was wrong with her brain. But she never provided evidence to support this statement, and that right there is the problem. You see, when people lie and joke about serious health issues, they forget that their actions could have far-reaching impacts beyond their personal lives. In this case, Sarah showed an unimaginable level of insensitivity because around 50 million people suffer from epilepsy across the world, and some of them might watch that video. It's hard to imagine how they'll feel, but we can at least measure the weight of their hurt through some of the comments that trailed the video. As someone who had frequent seizures as a child, I find this highly offensive. I know with mine I wouldn't remember what happened or even know where I was after coming out of mine. It takes every bit of energy out of you. To understand how Sarah became so insensitive to such a delicate issue, we have to examine 2 things. The first is how she comes up with ideas.
Just out of ideas.
You know what I do when I'm out of ideas? And then I get like a million ideas at once.
The other is the type of people around her, because like they say, a bad friend is worse than an actual enemy. Well, the thing is, not many admit they're friends with Sarah online, but there are a few exceptions. According to this video by Kiwi Tapes, the one person who publicly admitted to being friends with her did so just to accuse the TikToker of doing something morally wrong. Apart from this mystery friend, which we'll talk about later, Sarah is also close to her mom. And if you're like me, you're probably wondering why she hasn't called Sarah to order. I mean, mothers are supposed to be the default moral police for their children. But it turns out that not only is Mama Sarah aware of the lies, she's also a major shareholder in her daughter's empire of lies and deceit. How do I know this? Well, digging through the archives of Sarah's past, I found one shocking incident where her mom bent over backwards to cover her tracks. Some time ago, Sarah did the one thing she knows how to do best. She lied to her audience that she was hit by a bus at age 15. But it didn't end there. She added a tragic medical story for more effects, saying she was in a coma for a while and the incident stopped her brain from developing. Well, nobody believed her because ultimately there was no evidence whatsoever to back it up. If anything, those claims only earned her more criticism, just like most of the things she has said in the past. But Sarah kept pushing her narrative. In subsequent videos, she argued that her critics didn't have her medical history, and so they're not allowed to question her claims. She also insisted that she had brain surgery, again with no evidence. But somewhere along the line, she slipped and admitted that she probably didn't do a good job with the storytelling.
They're straight. You don't know my medical history. You are not my doctors. You are not my therapist. You are not a person, a medical professional. And if you are, you're not that specific about what you know about me because you don't have my records. And it's not fair that I keep getting unalive threats on a daily basis from someone taking a live stream when I had to have surgery into my brain and taking it out of context. Maybe I wasn't the best at explaining it, but I am not good at explaining a lot of things, and that is my curse.
Despite her fake tears, you could sense that the story was just about falling apart. But Mama Sarah literally made the whole thing crumble. She confirmed that her daughter only had a close encounter with a car, but there was barely any contact, and she had never been in a coma before. However, in an embarrassing turn of events, Mama Sarah walked back on her words. She tweaked the story, carefully doctoring her words until they aligned with Sarah's version of the story. That is just pathetic, but it's probably not as bad as some of the other things Sarah has done. During one of her live streams, she said a racial slur out loud.
That was awesome. Does Mama say it?
The word?
Yeah.
Yeah, she says it in Spanish all the time when describing all her cousins, you know, because nobody believes
she says
her.
the N-word?
He says the N-word in Spanish?
What's the N-word in Spanish? I don't know.
When people confronted Sarah about it, she immediately went into defense mode. First, she claimed she only said it because it's part of a song she likes to sing.
Like other rappers like Ice Cube, I do like them, don't get me wrong, but I've only sang them in a confined space within people I can trust. And do I say it out of malicious? No, I sing it because it's part of the song, and it's.
Then she pretended like she said it to herself.
I can't offend myself when I feel crappy. I can't say certain words about myself because the rest of the world thinks it's insensitive. When I say I can't call myself certain words anymore because it's offensive to other people, it just baffles me. I can't call myself the R word. I can't call myself dumb. I can't call myself stupid. I can't call myself anything to myself.
When that didn't seem to work, she made a half-hearted attempt to own up to her mistake and promised never to do it again.
Yeah, I won't use it again. Fine. I will never use it again. I will never use it again. I solemnly swear that I will never use the word again, okay?
But just when people started to believe her, she snapped out of the fake remorse and showed her true colors.
Because I'm not being sarcastic. I'm being happy. Can I not be happy for the holidays? Is that a crime? Can I not be happy? Is that a crime?
Yes, that's Sarah in her full raw element, a TikTok baddie who would do anything else but apologize. Despite knowing that she clearly erred, she refused to apologize, and when the criticism hit another gear, she attempted to distract the audience by launching the fourth phase of her defense strategy.
Up for your drama club. Never sign up for your drama, up for your drama club. Never sign up for your drama club. I will never see the day tomorrow. Someone tell me it's a terrible way. I see that for you. There's no one else for you. I found that voice. Two voices.
Honestly, that's the worst distraction attempt you'd ever see. I mean, if that dance was the only thing on TikTok, I promise you, nobody would be addicted to the platform. But you gotta give it to her. At least she gave it her best shot. She went over and beyond to buy a mask because she didn't want people to screen record her face while she made derogatory comments. You know, it's absolutely forbidden to apologize for saying something wrong. So she throws on a Squid Game mask as if that'll magically make the situation better.
Mask is creepy. Well, it's either the mask or we put the green screen filter on, but it is not working right now. So we have to have the mask on. I know my face has been out there with lives before, but I have turned a new chapter in if I'm going live. We will not be showing my face, so that way my face isn't on people's screen recording lives, in a sense.
When the same issue was raised on another live stream, she did a charismatic dance to distract the audience. Although often overlooked, small vices like denial in the face of truth and blame shifting could be symptoms of a much deeper problem brewing behind the scenes. In this instance, they are a clear indication that Sarah is living a dysfunctional life, one that's plagued with a lot more issues than you can count on with both hands. So besides her racial slur saga and the infamous seizure skit, Sarah is also known for stealing people's creative work and claiming it as her own. Here's a song she claimed she wrote in the bathtub.
My father says I have Irish eyes, Irish eyes, Irish eyes. My father says I have Irish eyes. They go ever so green on a bright spring sky, but they're never so green as when I let them cry. My mother says I have Puerto Rican hair, Puerto Rican hair. Brown like the bark of a palm somewhere, like the bed of the rocks where the sea meets, like a thorn in the stem of a Spanish flower. I'm a map of the world and the ones before, 1 foot in the sea and 1 on the shore, every step, every hope flung high. I'm a map of them all with my Irish eyes.
A quick Google search shows that the song actually belongs to a female British artist called Rose Betts. And as you can see here, the lyrics are exactly the same as what Sarah sang in that video. The only difference is that she swapped the word mother with father. Another time she read a poem that was supposedly written by her, and she was literally stumbling on her words.
I remember everything that you forgot. That one I wrote years ago. I just want to change to love you like you deserve to be. I promise there hasn't been a day that I stopped wanting you. I wrote it very close together back in the day, wanting you. And you haven't gotten out of my head at all since I first met you.
Could it be that Sarah grabbed that from Google too? Well, I'm not alleging anything, but one of the quotes in her video looks eerily similar to this quote I found on Pinterest. That alone suggests that everything she read in that video might be someone else's work. And as a matter of fact, it raises serious concern about the validity of everything she has said in the past, including her supposed love for Eddie Munson. Normally, Eddie is a very likable character, so it's not unusual that anyone would like him. But Sarah's obsession is on a whole different level. Basically, 80% of all her TikTok content is about the character. In fact, she once did an extensive series with over 40 videos detailing what she and Eddie would do if they were dating. If that wasn't cringeworthy enough, she made this post announcing the specific sequence of time since Eddie Munson passed away in season 4 of Stranger Things. Outside social media, Sarah has also extended that obsession to Joseph Quinn, the actor who played Eddie Munson. She paid $100 to meet him at a convention in Dallas, Texas. According to Sarah, the actor had a good aura during the event, but was irritated by some of his fans, whom she described as crazy.
Okay. Once again, as I repeat this, when I met Joseph Quinn last year in person, his aura was kind. Yes, sometimes he felt annoyed by some of the real crazy fans, which I waited patiently.
But somehow in the midst of all that chaos, Sarah said she was well behaved and ultimately got rewarded for it.
But when he saw me get my inhaler out, and as my autographs, both a Funko Pop and a picture, was getting signed, he let me stay by one of his, security guards of the convention. You want to call it mood impact. But with me, I was respectful, I was quiet, I was patient. He appreciates that. I gave him a nice gift. Something simple. Something not, related too much to Stranger Things. I got him a little bit.
At this point, Sarah had generated a lot of buzz, and everyone was wondering how the story would end. Did she summon enough courage to express her feelings for him? Or what if it was the other way around? Well, I'm not trying to be a killjoy, but none of that happened.
And then he waved me goodbye and said, please be safe. He did say that. I don't talk about it that much because everyone refuses to believe I had a genuine encounter with this man.
That sounds like a casual interaction that could have happened between any celebrity and a fan. But Sarah, being who she is, manufactured a completely different narrative. First, she described herself as an empath, and then she passionately talked up the meeting, highlighting how she gifted Joseph Quinn a jewel box and his appreciation for the way she behaved. That wasn't a coincidence. It was a carefully orchestrated plan by Sarah to mislead her audience. Think about it for a second. On one hand, she says Joseph Quinn was annoyed at other fans, but somehow she wants us to believe she formed a special connection with him. And before I forget, she also said she forgot to take pictures of the gift.
Too much to Stranger Things. I got him a little bit of what he did in different roles. A little bit of everything. And I made him a jewelry box. I don't have a picture of it because I forgot to take a picture of it before I went to the convention.
Sarah probably knew that people would demand evidence of the gift, so she added that excuse into her story just to escape accountability, but this time her audience was not having it. Describing the moment they became fed up with the story, one user wrote, "I lost it after the inhaler and Funko Pop were mentioned back to back, LMAO. Another user simply commented, "Empathability," mocking Sarah's claims of being an empath. But even harsh comments weren't enough to get Sarah to back down. Instead, they fueled her resolve to obsess over Joseph Quinn even more. When the actor was rumored to be dating Doja Cat, she initially tried to dismiss it.
Okay, girl, Joe is not dating Doja. I have not seen a picture of them on his Insta and anything. I heard they're engaged. I'll see it when I believe it. I'll see it when I believe it.
I think what she was trying to say there was, "I will believe it when I see it." But her hatred for Doja was too much. She couldn't even express her thoughts properly. And that right there gives you an insight into the mind of toxic people. No matter how they try to hide it, their extreme obsession sometimes gets the better of them, suffocating their ability to think or make fair judgment. Anyway, it took a while, but Sarah eventually realized that the stories about Joseph Quinn and Doja Cat were true. And since denial wasn't working, she resorted to personal attacks.
Doja Cat's body is tea, you can't lie. I don't know if, girl, I know my body is real. I don't know about Doja. No diss on Doja. I don't know where real and plastic begin. I just don't know where real and plastic begin.
Obviously, that didn't work either, so she turned her rage on Joseph Quinn. She delivered a whole lecture, talking about how she wouldn't want his heart to be broken.
They're grown men, they can do whatever they want. I just don't like seeing people in any situation, whether they're like me, in a relationship, or celebrity, getting their heart broken when you look up to them very wellly. That's all that matters to me, and I'm not trying to fight with anybody, and I'm trying to stay composed at the moment. But again, it's not fair that I...
Of course, everyone knows that's just pure hate and jealousy disguised as concern. But Sarah wasn't done yet. For her next stunt, she wore the hat of a counselor and outrightly concluded that the relationship was bad for Joseph.
Which, I'm not saying I can see aura, but I can feel when a good relation happens and a bad relation happens. Even though I may be my own self when I was dating certain people in my own personal life, blinded by love. But in the end, I got hurt quite a bit by guys. And my empath ability should have felt that more often than be stupid by love. So when I tell you that I may not know them, but I can feel it's not a good relationship. And that's not just because I like Joseph Quinn quite a bit and I went to go meet him.
A few minutes after dropping that unsolicited advice, she became emotional and almost cried as she pleaded with Joseph Quinn not to mess with her feelings.
At the same convention. But don't mess with my feelings. Don't mess with my emotions. Because it hurts. Your aura is green. Thank you, Chase.
Next up, Sarah did something out of the blue, even by her own standards. She alleged that Joseph Quinn rejected Doja and that the pop star had daddy issues.
Because are you going to get rid of your picture of him? To be for real, I might. To be for real, I don't care if I spent $110 for these photos. I might have to get rid of them. Because I cannot, like, Joseph Quinn could date any other person, and I would be okay with it, but not Doja Cat. She started this, like, when I still had an account on Twitter, which I don't anymore, and, like, stalking him, basically, on, like, different platforms, and kept asking her agent to literally, like, hook up a meeting with them. And, of course, even, I have to find them. I think I have them saved on my phone, screenshots or videos of, like, Joseph on Saturday Night Live, or other interviews, like, saying, how do you feel about the Doja Cat, like wanting to have you? And he's like, the uncomfortable, he's, like, scratching the back of his head, like he has to say it. I'm kind of flattered, I guess, but, I had to respectfully turn her down. Doja Cat's a problematic person. She's got daddy issues, severely. She just does. That's the one thing. If you got severe daddy issues, no, just no. Anybody else, I don't go, not her. Anybody else, anybody. He can date anybody, but not Doja Cat.
Now, this wasn't just jealousy anymore. It was a full-blown hate campaign by Sarah, and the backlash from her followers was in full measure. One person even took it upon themselves to ask why she was so obsessed with Joseph Quinn. Her answer was just as expected, dumb, casual, and devoid of depth or nuance. But it revealed something interesting about her life that we haven't discussed yet.
Because we can have our obsessions! Like, my boyfriend likes TT, Taylor Swift, so,
Wait, did she just say boyfriend? Well, yes, she did. Actually, away from all her TikTok drama and obsession with Joseph, Sarah is involved in a long-distance relationship with a man named Michael. And on the surface, it seemed like their love was quite strong, at least from Michael's point of view.
She was like a shot of espresso. She's like being bathed in sunlight. She's incredibly energetic and enthusiastic, and she had this sense of play and fun, which was incredibly exciting.
I know it's hard to tell a person's true character from the way they carry themselves on social media, but judging by his online persona, Michael comes across as a very calm person. On TikTok, he describes himself as just a guy who loves to dance and listen to music, and all of his 8 videos on the platform show him doing just that. This aura of composure and kindness he exudes is evident in the way he treats Sarah, the way he holds her, the occasional glances, and the innocence that flows through his eyes. It tells a story of a man who's genuinely in love. And perhaps the same can be said of Sarah. She's been open about her relationship with Michael from the onset, even showing him off on TikTok a few times. In one of her older clips from 2022, she hailed him to the heavens, saying he's different from every other person she has dated in the past. She also gushed about how the relationship is peaceful, and how Michael's family welcomed her with open arms.
When I started dating my partner, we would never get into a fight or have a conflict. And that shocked me to my core. Because I didn't have a normal family life. My parents worked in the city most of my childhood, and I was raised by other people who weren't even my biological family. And when I asked him out, I thought he was going to be like every other person in my relationship world. We date for maybe 6 months to a year, and then they leave me because they can't handle me. But not him. He just changed my world. His family openly accepted me for who I was and what I had, or what it was my orientation. His nieces and nephews, his sisters, welcomed me in with open arms. You could say I'm hooked, line, and sink for this person. He tells me never to change who I am. I love you for all you are, and that's why I love him.
It was the first time I had seen Sarah really happy about something positive, but the more I watched that video, the more I struggled to understand why Sarah sims for other men as if her life depended on it. You know, it's one thing to be overly obsessed with a celebrity as a single person, but it's a completely different thing to do it while you're in a serious relationship. And the fact that Sarah has chosen to walk that path suggests she doesn't respect what she and her boyfriend share. Because if she does, she wouldn't shamelessly obsess over Eddie Munson at every opportunity she gets. And she definitely wouldn't dress her Michael up as the fictional character. To be honest, I feel pity for Michael, and I'd give anything to be able to ask him a few questions, especially about her obsession with Eddie Munson and the kind of impact she has on his personal life, if any. Also, I'd like to know if his family approves of Sarah's shenanigans on TikTok, or if they're even aware of it at all. I mean, at some point, they have to consider the possibility of Sarah's toxic reputation rubbing off on him, because all it takes is one bad misinterpretation and he could be canceled for no fault of his. But even if that were to happen, it would be nothing compared to the disrespect and betrayal he had suffered from Sarah already. You see, when it comes to the undignified art of being promiscuous, nothing is off limits for this TikTok diva, not even teenagers.
I didn't see your face, but I thought you were definitely a mixed kid somewhere. I'm a mixed kid. I'm kind of half like Native American and like I'm Puerto Rican, so I got the Latina blood in me.
Oh, I love Latinas. I love Latinas.
Yeah, I just got the
I
freckles.
love Latinas, bro.
I got the freckles because of my daddy.
Oh, your dad. I could be your daddy.
Oh shit! No, you did not just say that.
I could be your daddy.
Nope. No one ever say daddy.
Hang up if you don't like it. I didn't say I hated it, but I'm confused why anyone.
Oh, that's what I'm talking about. She don't hate it. She loves me. Oh, God.
I can't even begin to imagine how Michael would feel after watching that video. Bro's probably somewhere trying to make the best of his life, and his supposed babe is on the wild streets of TikTok, sending flirty signals to a teenager. It's inappropriate, disrespectful, and more importantly, it ridicules whatever affection Sarah claims to have for Michael. And yet it's not even her worst act. According to that mystery friend I referenced earlier, Sarah has repeatedly cheated with other men despite being in a committed relationship. One time she spent the night at a man's house. And just so you know, the man in question wasn't Michael. It was a random guy named Tim. If that's true, then it's definitely enough grounds for Michael to break up with Sarah. I mean, she's done so much wrong, and at some point, he has to hold her accountable. But based on everything we know about her, it doesn't seem like Sarah is willing to practice accountability. The word doesn't even exist in her dictionary. So far, every attempt to get her to be accountable has resulted in fake tears, unconfirmed claims, and lots of incoherent and manipulative TikTok videos.
Hey everyone. I have to make this video because I've been getting a lot of bad comments on my videos and like lots of really bad DMs telling me to hurt myself, that your boyfriend is dating you only from pity, that you're forcing your boyfriend to do this and that, and you're forcing your friends to do this and that.
Sarah practically lives in her own universe, which is governed by 5 major rules: deception, denial, manipulation, deflection, and toxicity. Her reaction to the Doja Cat and Joseph Quinn dating rumors were guided by these principles. And if you look through her life history, you'll realize it's a recurring pattern. One time she subtly dissed her dad for being bald, and when people called her out for her own hair loss, she basically denied it.
Genetically, my dad had curly hair growing up, and now he's bald. I'm not balding, thank God.
Eventually, she admitted to being bald after looking in the mirror and seeing the overwhelming evidence for herself. But again, she found a way to blame it on her mental health.
Why people saying I was bald. I don't know why people were saying I am bald. But sometimes I do have situations where if I'm really stressed, I guess my hair does intend to like thin a little bit. But if I'm taking care of my mental health the right way, my hair doesn't thin. I haven't been in a great mood, so sometimes my hair does thin a little bit. That doesn't mean I'm losing my hair, so whatever.
And if the blame game doesn't work, she would turn off her comments, or better still, switch to emotional manipulation and cheat blackmail like this.
It is not fair that I keep getting hurt by random people or people on a daily basis because I just wanted to make friends on social media. I wanted to meet people who like Stranger Things and Supernatural and everything pop culture or decade related or music and theater. It is not fair that I keep getting these comments. It is not fair.
Or this.
I'm an empath. I feel things every day. I feel things every day because I'm an empath. I wouldn't be a person with no feelings if I didn't do these raffles or talk to people or understand where they're coming from. I can't even cry anymore because I'm sorry that people spread misinformation about me. I'm a good person. I am good in my community. I go to work. I eat. I sleep. I go to work. I eat. I sleep. I'm just a person with special needs trying to exist in this world. And it's always been hard since day one for me. And I'm not trying to guilt trip anyone, I'm really not. I'm just at a point right now. I'm at a point right now where I can't tell you more than what I can say here on this community TikTok. But people, wake the fuck up. Because you're the problem, not me. You're the problem, not me.
To be clear, mental health issues are serious, and people who struggle with them deserve all the help and support they can get. But when people use it as an excuse to manipulate and attack others, as Sarah has done, then they must be stopped. Some of her followers have called for her to be sacked, and others think she should be sent to hell. TikTok has also banned her accounts in the past, which suggests that maybe the platform is tired of her antics.
In 2021, my whole account got deleted for no reason, and ever since that day, I've built myself back up to who I am right now. I have 2 accounts, Sarah Roar and Sarah Strawberry 3000. I have gone through the highs and lows of this TikTok app, of being a private account to a public account to a private account to a public account to turning off my downloads to public people and duets and stitches and stickers and all that thing that I try to understand on this platform.
But ultimately that hasn't worked, because Sarah remains active on the platform. And not only that, she's now leading a whole ecosystem of problematic TikTokers, if you know what I mean. Plus, she was recently caught supporting one of them who's smoking nicotine while pregnant.
Okay, please leave my friend Kyle and his beautiful fiance that's about to have a beautiful baby alone, because
I'm not so mentally ill. So you want to take my nicotine away? Okay, you can deal with attitude from it.
That shows Sarah's problems are getting worse by the day. I mean, who knows what else she's going to do? Maybe make insensitive content about wars, or lie that she's stopping a school shooting by dancing. Oh, she's done those already, and she's probably going to do worse in the future. So for Michael, this gentleman who has the misfortune of dating her, this might be the time to reassess the relationship. From the videos we've seen, it looks like he's deeply in love with Sarah, but she has consistently abused that privilege by openly flirting with other men for reasons best known to her. So maybe, just maybe, it's time for Michael to draw a line in the sand and seek love somewhere else, because unfortunately it doesn't seem like she's ready to change.